What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Zach and Pat Fight Companion. We are joined by Nick Curran and Erion Zekthi. Welcome, boys. We made it. We've been talking about this all week. I'm pumped.
I'm pumped
to be here.
Thanks for having us.
In the speakeasy and
Ready to
everything. Yeah, man.
It's a dope spot, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
The
been
past couple of episodes you've done, I think we're in this room as well.
Yeah,
Not the last
Two.
one that you posted, but
The two before.
yes.
Yeah.
And I will be honest with you, I was like blown away at the production, the lighting,
Yeah, it looked really
audio, everything was just amazing.
Don't tell Murph that.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. Well, he had issues with because we didn't use these mics. We used the lapel mics, and I don't know. Apparently,
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was difficult for him to edit. Apparently, because like we were picking each other up on like I was getting picked up on his mic, and he said it was just there was like bad reverb, and he had to do a lot of shit to clean it up. But
Luckily for us, we don't deal with that.
yeah.
Sorry,
You could have just been like,
Sorry, Murph.
suck it, Murph.
fuck you.
You know,
It's like, Garen, shut the fuck up, man.
Can I just say, John Anik is always on point with his suits, just the way same way Bruce Buffer is with his tuxes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just crisp. Looks crisp.
Joe Rogan is going to have the iconic black shirt,
on black,
no tie.
baby, black on black.
It's low-key genius if you're a big sweater, because then no one will know that like you're wet underneath that.
It's funny you mentioned
You'll
that.
just see his fucking forehead just dripping sweat.
Yeah, in Rogan's podcast, or not podcast, Netflix special that he dropped, his live. He wore an orange shirt, and he's just sweating.
That was a calculation.
2
error.
minutes in, just sweating.
Well, I think it was also because he was a little nervous.
Yeah, doing a
Yeah,
live
but-
comedy special.
Still,
Yeah.
to your point, wears a black shirt every time.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear an orange
I'm
shirt.
going to go orange tonight.
Dude, the best was like when he's on his podcast and like it's like sweater, t-shirt, sweater. Then he's got JD Vance, and you could tell that he tried to dress up for it. Like I don't know if Joe knows how to tie a tie. He knows how to tie a BJJ belt, but I don't know if he knows how to tie a tie.
Oh, he's very open about being anti-tie. He's like, somebody could easily just grab that and all they need to do is get their fingers under it and just turn it and choke
yeah,
me.
but they got to get a hold of me.
Yeah, that's true.
Most people don't know how to properly like think about it. Like if you were to take sample size, like the average American male, do you think they know anything about combat?
No.
No.
I would say like 90. I would say less than 95%. I mean, like 96%.
There's still people that think like jiu-jitsu is fake.
I know.
You know what I
It's
mean? Like,
hilarious.
oh, that shit doesn't work. Like, what doesn't work? How?
Yeah.
Like, what
Have
do
you
mean
tried
doesn't
it?
work?
Yeah, go roll with an average blue belt at any gym and see how it goes for you.
I don't know. I know some guys that see red. And
Yeah.
No,
do you think
people
of the
always
new-
talk about, they'll be like, oh, well, I can like scratch, bite. So can we. Yeah, well, thanks for opening up the rule set. I can hold your wrist down and bite you.
what do you think of the new main event with Moicano and Islam?
I mean, I think I hope it's going to be exciting, but I just think Islam's going to. I
mean,
don't know.
Everyone's dangerous in the first minute of the first round. You know what I mean? And I'm not a betting man, but if I were to have to, obviously you want to.
Oh, my money is always on the guy from Dagestan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the good kind.
They're just
that's the
different.
good kind of racism.
They're just different.
Yeah, when you see someone with a
With
with a Middle Eastern first name and a Russian last name, that's who I'm putting my money on most of the time.
The hairline
bald.
is 2 fingers away from the eyebrows,
and there's no no mustache.
massive beard.
Yeah, and no mustache. That's a problem.
You're about to get smished.
It's smeesh. Yeah, he literally said it. It was like I don't care. They asked him like, what do you think about the change in the opponent? Nothing changes. I'm still going to smish.
I like Moicano's. He's like, what do you think? He's like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck who it is.
I love it. I fucking
I
love
need
it.
this money for my family. I fuck him up.
I was looking forward to Armin though because they had fought before and it was a good fight, and I was curious to see what sort of like adjustments he would do. You guys know this now that you've rolled. The very first time you roll with someone is completely different from the second, the third, the fourth, because then you start getting a feel for their hips, what they like to go for, where they feel comfortable, where they don't feel comfortable. Imagine you're in there for 25 minutes or 15 minutes with someone like fighting. You're going to know them better than their family does in that 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Also,
I was interested in that rematch.
Also, Armin's an elite grappler. Like Khabib never faced anyone who was going to touch him on the ground. Sorry, he was beating people with good MMA wrestling, but Armin is a freak in his own right.
Yeah, Islam is too, dude.
No, that's what I'm saying. But Islam is too.
Yeah.
But meaning Khabib, like on his rise, didn't face any crazy grapplers. So far, Islam hasn't had to face any crazy grapplers.
I think that's what's going to happen in the co-main, though, because you got two crazy grapplers, and I think Umar's got the number with the striking.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm curious to see what Marab does.
Yeah, Marab weaponizes.
I think
pace.
Umar is the number one bantamweight in the world, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna see that tonight.
We're going to see that tonight.
Yeah.
I think so, man. He's
Also,
a
it
full
hurts
package.
Marab that he's not really a submission guy either. He's just a takedown, up, down, up, down, up, down.
he just takes you
weaponizes
down and
that
wrestle fucks
pace.
you.
But when the guy's going to match his wrestling and you're not really planning on choking
Staying
him out at a certain point or TKOing him, then it's like, shit, you're relying on those 5 rounds because that's what he's done. I mean, I think he did like 20-plus takedowns on all the attempts.
Believes his improved striking will decide who wins, so guess we're gonna see him.
His
standing-
improved striking? From what fight?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think all of his wins are via decision. If I'm not mistaken.
Let's just say he's coming out behind his jab tonight.
Well, listen. If there's one thing I will bet on is that neither of those guys are going to get, you will not see fatigue be an issue.
Yes,
They will get tired, obviously, because they're in a very high-level fight. But, the way they will come out in round 5 will be very reminiscent to the way they come out in round 1. And that is, in my opinion, the hardest thing to do in sports is consistency.
This outfit.
What the fuck?
So he's got a nasty scar on his leg right now, and I've seen this clip
Marab?
from December 11th. It's about this big. In the clip I saw, they peeled this bandage off and just heavy-duty stitches. So he either had something gnarly cut out or just split his shin.
Or maybe he had staph. Because
That's what I'm saying, cut out.
Rockhold.
Yeah.
It's this big. It was this big.
Yeah,
And that's probably staph or something.
A buddy of mine had that MRSA.
Yeah.
He got it.
Terrifying.
He was a catcher in baseball. I think he was in high at the time. The guy swung, broke the bat. He was catching, so the bat broke and it hit him in the leg. Didn't think anything of it, but I guess a little splinter got in there. Got infected. He sent me a picture, dude. It looked like he got bit by a fucking shark. It was almost from his hip all the way down to his knee. Just giant incision, just letting it ooze out.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm lucky I didn't lose my leg.
Dude.
Zach and I's friend Blake, he's not on the big jiu-jitsu scene or anything, but he was a big part of Watson's, and he hurt his ankle, and he was someone who posted on Facebook every day, which is very active. And then he left the gym because of an injury and got on crutches, whatever, for his ankle. And then all of a sudden, some of us at the gym were like, "Hey, Blake hasn't posted anything in 3 weeks. Has anybody checked on him?" And
Are you alive?
yeah, basically, that's what we're all like, what? And then someone was like, yeah, he got a little cut under his arm, and he just is still taking some time off for his ankle. And then all of a sudden you see those big posts on Facebook, and if you've been around long enough, normally you've seen a big post, someone's passing away or something, and it starts with, "This is so-and-so's ex-girlfriend," boom, and the post starts, and evidently he got MRSA and this flesh-eating bacteria, but ignored every symptom. And he, no, literally, evidently he was no, literally, you can laugh at it. He was ignoring it. Evidently, he passed out in a couple parking lots because it was so bad. It was going delirious in his house from it. But he had 10 surgeries basically of them trying to carve it out, but it was with that live infection, X amount of things have to go right during that process of them cleaning it out of your body. And they said every time he went under, they told him you might wake up without a limb. Every time they said there's a chance that if it goes
A different limb.
south, they might cut off his right ankle and his right arm. And I'd never seen a transformation. We finally got to see him 2 months later because during the pandemic you weren't allowed casual visits, and he eventually he had to move. It was a 1 or 2, but we're all just teammates at the gym, so 10 of us aren't gonna go up there and use his family visit. And finally he got moved to a hotel because he's gonna move to Dallas for care. And he's someone who's personal trainer, trained jiu-jitsu every day, jacked. he had pencil arms. It was
he was like probably like 190
and full skin grafts
From what, atrophy?
Yeah,
and from
there's nothing
being in the hospital for
Yeah,
Having-
forever.
Not
yeah.
doing shit.
But
Not
also
doing-
like
yeah.
full
Being
skin grafts on his arm, like
yeah, and that he had like a full sleeve.
it
on
was
that arm, too,
crazy.
yeah,
And I'm telling you, his arms were just the bones. Like
Crazy.
I looked at him like,
it was like you like almost didn't recognize him, yeah, because you and I went
Yeah.
up there together, and that was I mean
it was wild.
It was
But yeah,
wild.
evidently, and then his arm was swollen up in the beginning. You know that tape? I'm 99% sure it's right. You know that tape you like wrap around to like decompress muscles and stuff? He put that on the infection thinking it was like sore or something. And evidently, like,
No,
obviously you don't want to just pump blood through your body like that.
I will say that if there was anything that I was like really a Neanderthal of when it came to like my athletics, it was recovery.
Yeah.
I was suck it up pussy till the very end. Like I don't even know what the fuck tape you're talking about right now. Because
Yeah.
I just, if something hurt, put ice on it, you know, take a hot bath, loosen it up. Like, I'm going to train tomorrow.
Yeah.
The only time I ever had to do anything was before my Dylan Tolbert fight. I was actually, and this is something that's affected me to this day, my right shoulder. So when I was in Southpaw, I would jab a lot, right? Because I would just work the jab. I was throwing so many punches in such succession under that camp, and I had to lose 60 pounds in that camp because we were coming off of COVID. And that was the heaviest I'd ever been. I got up to like 195.
Dude.
And Rob was like, hey, all right, 12 weeks out, I'm giving you as much time as we know. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Stepped on the scale. I was like, fuck me, right? I had to take a cortisone shot on my shoulder. I had to go to like the state and be like, listen, like because the ligaments in my shoulder were literally like eroding. Like I was working it so much, I had killed the tissue. So I could not like lift my right arm. And at first I thought, okay, I'll just grapple a little bit and then it'll come back. Dude, after a week and it not coming back, we were a week out from the fight. I was like, oh shit, like, am I going to have to go in there one-armed?
Yeah.
So I went to Tim Lukanoff. I went to the state. I go, this is what I'm going to need to do in order to get this fight going. You know, it's because technically cortisone is like a steroid, right? So it's like,
Do you get tested at the
The-
low-level pro?
I never got tested ever.
I mean,
If
went
I
under,
wanted to
told
take
them you
steroids
wake
my
up with
entire
a
career,
limp.
no one would have ever known.
Every
Yeah.
But I also
Time it-
would never have done that. Not even for like the performance side of it, but for the after effects.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're already doing something, and I'm sure you guys felt like this with like hockey, right? Is like this mentality of I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And I was already putting the miles on my body with training, with head concussions and CT and all this other shit. The last thing I wanted to do was like ruin my endocrine system as well. And then I'm 40 years old with man tits and I can't remember shit because I was running the red on both sides, right? So like PEDs were just, by the way, tomorrow I have Jeff Whitmore before you, Pat. And he's like, he owns a peptide and performance enhancing company. And we're going to talk about PEDs in sports because like, I think it depends on the sport. Like, if you're playing baseball, fucking juice up if you want to, dude. Hit that ball as hard as you want. But if you're playing football, if you're boxing or fighting,
If you're leveling
when
someone
you're
up.
putting someone's health at risk, by
it's
your
impact.
physicality.
if the impact is not conducive to another person, what do I care? Imagine you're playing hockey and there's no contact whatsoever, okay? Do you care if everybody's on the sauce? Why?
Because I'm not getting lit
Because you're
up.
not getting hit, exactly. But the second you start incorporating that contact, you're like, hey, man, like, you hit me like a Ford Escort. Like, relax. Like, I want to know who your physician is.
Yeah. Which who are you having on? What's his name?
Jeff Whitmore.
What clinic does he own? Do you know?
He told me. I have it all in like messages. Forgive me, Jeff.
Is it Victory?
Victory? Yeah, I think it might be Victory.
We had
Jordan Dowdy.
similar-
By the way, Jordan Dowdy is someone that you guys should have on your podcast. Jordan's
I'd
a
like to
very
have him on.
neat guy. He's got a big mind for the game, and I believe he's like one of the main coaches for Sean Woodson.
Yeah, I would like to get Sean on too.
But Jordan was the one who kind of like was like, hey, like I'm talking to this guy. I don't know if Jordan's like, because Jordan's done with that part of his career because he was a fighter too, and I think maybe he's kind of dabbling in like trying to feel a little younger.
Me and Pat are.
Oh, you guys are both on that?
Yeah, we're on the
What?
sauce. TRT.
Oh yeah, but like
Yeah, not on the sauce.
testosterone
yeah.
replacement therapy is like, you know, to bring yourself back to a certain level is one thing. To go above that, I think
Right.
is completely different, right?
Well, I just got my. It's funny. We just got our. Me and Pat started literally like a couple days apart from each other. We had Rocky Alberti on from New Age, And he was like, yeah, come in, get your blood work done, check it out. And I had gotten mine done a few years before, and so had Pat. And, we'd been low for years. And so
how did you know you were low? Did you go do blood work?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel it?
So for me, I mean, like going back, I remember being in pro ball, and I was always having a hard time. Like when I off season wise, I would get in and I would just get after it and I'd lose weight, but I was having a hard time losing body fat. And they thought it was a thyroid problem, so they tested for the thyroid, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
I mean, went under. Hold up, you wake up without a limp.
Well, every test that I've done for testosterone, they're like,
time they said chance
thyroid, and thyroid tests always come back fine. And then it was finally like, yeah, your testosterone's super low. I mean, it was about a year ago this time, I went in and I guess I went and got tested through my primary, and I was at 190. Yeah. 35-year-old male, healthy.
Average levels are what, like 800?
800 to 1,000.
Yeah.
For a 30 for
depending on BMI, age, all the other things. But
and
so I mean 190 is low.
Low. They're like, yeah, that's the testosterone level of an 80-year-old man. I was like, fuck. And so they're like, well, we want to test you again in 4 months or in 3 months. I was like, all right. So I went back 3 months later, and at the time, that's when I had started doing CrossFit and started meeting with my nutritionist, getting everything in check there. And I went from 190 to 220. And they're like, all right, well, we're seeing improvements, so that's good. You're changing your diet, working out more. And I was like, okay, well, that's still super low.
Yeah.
They're like, well, let's get you into an endocrine doctor to see what the cause of this is. I was like, all right. So they gave me the number. This time it's April. So I call them. They're like, well, we've got an opening in July. I'm like, well, I'm going to be out of town. Well, the next opening after that's October. I was like, well, fuck, okay. So set me up for October. And then we had Rocky come on, and Rocky was like, dude, just come in. We got a nurse practitioner.
Wow.
And went in, got checked. At that time, I was at 230. So went up another 10 points from April till August. And a week later, they're giving me my dosage. And
talk about the non-financial benefits of having a podcast. Right.
Oh, absolutely. The connections, my network, how much it's grown, it's been huge. And
how does it sound? The connection in general?
Yeah, I guess so. I know it's like the video looks fine, but like I was just listening to Pat talk, and it was like chopping out when you were saying certain things. It's like every once in a while you hear it cut out.
It could be.
Well, maybe because I've got heads turned. I'm not speaking directly. I don't know. But
I don't know.
Are you on Wi-Fi or direct connection?
Wi-Fi. So it probably is that.
It's the upload.
But yeah, I mean,
triangle. It's right there.
So we're 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the first round between Holland and Ritter.
I don't know any. I don't think I've ever seen the Ritter guy fight.
He was a champ at one.
That's right.
He got out of his contract, or maybe just didn't resign. And he came over.
He was the champ at middleweight?
I'd assume so. I think their weight classes are slightly different on what they weigh in, though. But yes.
But going back to what you were asking about the testosterone, I went from 230. Got my blood work back. I was at like 1,050 after 12 weeks.
Mine was over 1,500.
Yeah.
So that we
Notice
took my dosage down.
Oh fuck
Sleep,
yeah,
bro.
Sex,
everything.
My life is it's.
These dudes have been banging.
Nick's like, be my boy Pat and Zach. They fuck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
No, I noticed the most. That's great.
That's a fucking clip. That boy's a bang.
There you go, Murph.
That's a
There's your
great
clip.
That's a great like commercial for like testosterone. Oh, your life's better, right? Yeah. My boy's
These
bang.
boys
There we go.
bang.
There we go. New age sponsorship. The Zach and Pat show.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah, but no, I've noticed it the most in the gym. And so like I went and got my
Really,
nutrition.
not
Recovery too.
Okay.
Like that whole aspect of it, but but like in the gym, like my max, I mean, increased it by like deadlifts, you know, repped out, maxed out by upped it by like 40 pounds on my max. And then like you said, the recovery, but like I'll sit there in class and I'll be like, you know what, I can do level 1, like I can, or level 3, like I can RX this workout, and like, all right, Pat, maybe we should not try and RX this because we're not quite there yet. But I'm like, the competitiveness of it has been great.
Interesting strategy by giving up the back.
Yeah.
Going from closed guard to giving up your
Makes
back.
me think of that one movie, like, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works
See how it works out for him.
Was that,
A dodgeball.
yeah, it was Dodgeball.
No one makes me bleed my own blood.
Ben Stiller was great in that movie.
Oh yeah.
You like almost forget it's Ben
He's very
Stiller.
high on the back, which makes you think
He's gonna fall.
Not necessarily fall. He could. I was about to say he could transition to
Kimura.
or from the armbar from that position, but body triangle. This is the part where I never want to belittle the skill set of any fighter because obviously they're in the UFC. He's got it.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh wow.
In heat of the moment.
That didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go.
Honestly, Ritter made it kind of look a little
kind of
easy,
look easy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
Since
is where
competing though, like the craziest thing is
this
being
is what
ready in the moment. Like
Well,
that
what-
is the weirdest thing.
What I was going to
competing
say
all
though
day.
is to lose by submission is the most maddening because it's also like the slow, methodical loss, right? So like what I was trying to say before the fight was ending was I didn't want to like belittle the skill set, but you know you got the body triangle on you. How do you not know to shift your weight to the side to put the foot on the floor so that you could peel the ankle? Like this is like white belt, blue belt jiu-jitsu, like not difficult. And you know, I'm just it was a little interesting, like. It makes me question the skill set of Holland, to be completely honest with you. It's like, brother.
I mean, he's a Travis Lutter black belt.
I always talk about this though. People train jiu-jitsu.
You see how he has the instep underneath the calf like that? It's like, use your free foot to hit that off.
Yeah.
Shift your weight. This is not like...
And he needs to turn his hips to the ceiling.
Yeah, granted, backseat quarterbacking, understood. But, like, at the same time, it's like, dude, you're at the UFC level. Like, first round, you're still somewhat fresh-ish.
Yeah.
You said
But I was talking
black
about
belt in
this
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's a black belt.
with grappling, like people, like especially MMA, like because I've had a little experience at MMA gyms, they start fading away from like traditional skill set repetition, which is good and bad. But when I get ready for like obviously a strict jiu-jitsu comp, I just start doing tons of positional rounds where like I'm repping out back escape, back escape, back escape. So he's like black belt, just did a fight camp, but he might have had his back taken 3 times in the last 6 months. You know, like he might have put himself in that position.
But Nick, he's a black belt. Imagine in the course of his life how many times he's been in that position. Who cares about fucking camp? That's like a skill set that transcends camp, right? Camp is not about really developing. It's more about sharpening, right?
But I mean, it could be 3 times in 3 months, but 15 times in a whole calendar year. And 15 isn't saying a lot either, you know. And
if
you
he's
brush
only
it off
getting
as
his
I can.
back taken 3 times or 15 times a year, he needs to get into a different room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that guy, but
Yeah.
Or,
No, I agree.
or
I agree.
if you're crushing everybody in your room, create a handicap for yourself.
Yeah.
Put yourself in bad positions to work yourself out.
Yeah, there's so many ways to do
You're
it.
in a room full of white belts. Okay, give them mount, give them your bag, give them whatever. You start in a submission.
Yeah. Yeah, like I like how you did that in your class the other night, Nick. Like when at the very end of class, you're like, all right, everybody, bad positions now. You know, and it's
Yeah, but
everybody,
I also say, I'm like, hey, no better time than work a bad position
Than
when
when
you're
you're tired.
gassed.
Yeah.
Everyone's whooped. There's 3 minutes left in class. I'm like, each side's getting a minute, minute and a half. Get on the back, hooks in, boom, go. Because that's when it sucks. I can get out of back. We used to, right in the beginning of class all day long. I feel good. But when I'm exhausted, I've been doing exchanges the whole class, and all of a sudden someone's on my back. You're like, oh, this is a lot
Yeah, you
different.
just did like 3 5-minute rounds or whatever it was, and you're fucking gassed and huffing wind. You're like, oh, fucking, I gotta get this motherfucker on my back.
That'll also
Yeah.
really show you where you have the inadequacies in your technique.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, we always talked about that in baseball. Is once you're tired, rely on your skill, like your form, your technique, your mechanics.
Yeah.
Same shit.
I tell my wrestlers that cardio is not how long you go until you're tired. It's how long you can go when you're tired.
Yeah.
Because if you're wrestling or whatever it is that your sport is, but for my example, it's wrestling. If you're wrestling someone of high level and, you go after 3 periods and you win the match and you still have, like, reserves, then I go to you and I'm like, well, why didn't you get the pin? Why didn't you get the tech? Like, if you have energy to reserve, that means you could have worked harder, which means you could have done better. So, like, if you're not leaving every match exhausted, what are you doing? So then is cardio, how long you can go until you're exhausted, or is cardio how long you can go when you are? I think it's how long you can go when you are, because I am going to go to failure. I am going to go so hard that fatigue and me being tired is a certainty, unless the fight ends beforehand. But this case, like a wrestling match, so like a pin or a submission in jiu-jitsu. But I'm also going into this competition. I always went into every fight thinking that this is going to go the distance. I'm not going to finish this in the first round or whatever, and this is going to be really fucking hard. That way, I was always pleasantly surprised if I was wrong. It didn't go the distance. Got the win in this round instead. Great. At least I was prepared for a war. But maybe, what do I know?
You miss it?
I mean, we were saying this beforehand. Like, if I did not have my wife and kid, I would have gone crazy. If I didn't have my wife and kid, I would have gone crazy. But I also, once I stopped fighting, it allowed me, I said this with you, Zach, it allowed me 3 to 4 hours a day that I could then, like, really emphasize or really, like, put into other aspects of my life, specifically like my professional life. And the amount of money and the status and the networking and everything that I have now compared to 2 years ago when I was still fighting, I used to think that fighting was like, I'll give you a prime anecdotal example of this. When I was fighting, I never got recognized out and about. Or at the very least, the people that would recognize me were other fighters. There was a guy getting some roofing done next door to my house, and one of the dudes knew me from the podcast. Like, was like, hey, are you an influencer? And I was like, what? I was like walking my dog. I was like, I'm not an influencer. Like, don't you have a podcast? And I was thinking to myself, no fucking way. I've been fighting for 10 years, and this, circumstance never happened. Less than a year of doing the podcast, you get recognized out and about. I'm not going to lie to you. It was like, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, it felt good. You know what I mean? I was thinking to myself, like, I used to think that fighting was me. It's like, no, you'll develop a plethora of avenues throughout your life to really express yourself. Martial arts was a great time for me to do that, but it was not the only time for me to do that. And as I get farther away from it, it becomes easier. It's not the other way around. Yeah. First month was rough. Second month, less so. And then once my daughter was born too, I mean, it was like.
What was the timeline between you stopping fighting and your daughter being born?
3 months.
Okay.
3-4 months. Bruna was already pregnant. That was the other thing, dude. Going into that last fight was rough because I was like, if I would have won, Bellator and the UFC were looking at me. Like, if I would have won that fight, I would have gone in there. And that was like the precursor. I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to make some money, then I can afford to be a little selfish, right? Because if you're going to do any sport, it's a selfish endeavor, especially professionally. And if you're making some money doing it, well, then you can justify it, right? But I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you I was already like 1 foot out the door because I was like questioning. I was already so fucking busy. And the fighting was already stressing my relationship with Bruna, just my wife. I could not imagine. I have no idea how fighters fight and also like maintain a family life. I have no fucking clue. Kudos to you guys. Maybe it's like fighting is all they do, but I had a 9 to 5. I had the businesses that I was trying to run and then fighting and then trying to be a husband. There was just not enough hours in the day. And I'm not lying to you guys. I was fucking stressed because I was like, if I win this, it's only going to become more. Mm-hmm. And then when I lost it, I hate to say it this way.
Like relief?
Yes. Good.
Weight off your
This
shoulders.
is the out. This is why people always ask me, like, don't you want to go back and end on a win? No. I'm glad that I lost. It's a constant reminder not to get back in. Because if I'm not going to be the best in the world, then I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to be the best in the world, so don't do it. At least that's how I think, man. I do miss it, but it gets easier as time progresses. The podcast helps, and then my successes in life, not just money, but like I want to have another kid. You know what I mean? Like I consider these successes.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
So
Not all successes are monetary.
yeah.
You know?
That's the thing. My baseball career was way before getting married or having kids. But at that time, I was like, after college, I was like, I'm going to give it 5 years. Unless I'm still in affiliated ball with a chance to make it the big leagues, I'm going to hang it up. And, I got released from the Reds, went and played a year of indie ball. I had the opportunity to, the team that I was playing for re-signed me. And then just unfortunate circumstances, just it wasn't, I had a tryout with the Diamondbacks that went really well. And talking about spring training invites, and then the entire staff gets fired because Tony La Russa comes in.
Wow.
So those talks ended. And then then the team called me like, oh, we're going to trade you to the River City Rascals. I'm like, oh, that's great. I can do what I'm doing now plus play and get to spring training. My heart just wasn't in it at all. Like I was so far removed from baseball at that point, but like I see it all the time. Like there's a Facebook group for former professional baseball players, and there's always posts in there about guys that are struggling, and they just don't know anything else. But like baseball for me was always a means to an end. Got me a college education, paid for my degree, all that stuff. I knew like when I put my all into, I was a damn good pitcher. I don't know. It just towards the end there, I knew that it just wasn't for me.
Did it change because of time? Because I can tell you that the animal that I was at 22, 23.
No, absolutely.
By the time I was 28, brother, I was the old lion.
Oh yeah, same. I was 20. Let's see, so that was 2015. So I would have been 26, 27 when I retired.
We were close to the same age
almost
then.
27 when I called it quits and with the Rascals. And so
Pat, how old are you now?
36.
Yeah,
This will be my 10th year out of baseball. Or this last year was 10 years since my last season.
How many of your years did you spend in baseball since you were like little?
Since I was 8.
So you did, and you got out
26.
Okay, so roughly
18 years.
18 years. So like you're coming on 10 years now. It's going to be weird when you hit 19 years,
right?
And you had been not doing baseball
for sure.
longer than you had been doing it.
Oh yeah. Well, and I'm officially at that point where it's like I've been doing this as my profession longer than I did baseball as a profession. And I mean,
a lot more money doing this, huh?
Oh, hell yeah. You didn't when I played, you didn't make shit at the time.
They just announced DC and Chael Sonnen are the coaches for the next Ultimate Fighter.
Ooh.
What?
Nice.
Yeah.
They're not fighting.
They won't fight each other at the end of the season, but it'll still be
It'll be good television.
The last Ultimate Fighter, those guys never fought each other either. So
yeah.
What do you think of
Connor
Almeida versus Spivak?
Almeida's a beast.
yeah, dude. I think if I had to put money on it, I'd probably go. Almeida for sure. Look at him. He's the big favorite for sure. He's fucking
Heavyweight's
jacked.
rough because anybody can finish with one shot.
Yeah, heavyweight.
Everyone's got one hitter quitter at that size. Dude, where is this at? This stadium is amazing. Is it in Canada?
Where do
This
they
is
end up
LA.
going? Because they're still in LA. I thought
This is in
They
LA?
didn't move it.
Well,
Dana White was at the press conference, and it's been memed all week. But the press conference since Thursday, and he's like, "This place is on fire. Thanks everybody for coming out."
poor choice.
It's-
too soon.
It's just been getting memed up. They're
Dude,
like,
I feel bad for the fighters. There goes 10% of their purse, state taxes. Fuck
Yeah.
California, dude.
yeah, I mean it's the same when they fight in New York. They get
I wouldn't fight in New York
heavy
either.
tax.
Yeah, dude, this dude's a fucking you don't see many heavyweights with six packs.
Well,
I can't wait till my.
and Ngannou
last
said, "Hold my
Olympics."
BF."
Yeah. And Ngannou has to cut weight to make 265.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Polar bear.
Polar bear. Got one tattooed on his chest.
What's the worst fighter nickname you've ever heard?
I thought you were gonna say,
seen?
"What's the worst fighter tattoo?" And I was like, "Ooh, I got that one."
those
He's
are-
on this. He's on this card. Jamal Hill has the worst.
the Mickey Mouse?
The Mickey Mouse thumbs up on his chest. Like those are the
No,
worst.
Who's the dude that had the girlfriend tattooed on his face and then turned it into a gorilla?
Darren Till.
Darren Till.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
He just won. He just beat
Anthony
the world
Taylor.
champion in boxing.
no, it's
World-
Misfits.
world champion.
Misfits is a influencer. Misfits is an influencer boxing thing. That's the KSI Logan Paul.
Oh,
Yeah, and
no, the guy he was fighting though was a world champion.
No, it's Anthony Taylor, who is a former Bellator guy. So he's got an MMA background, and he's fought a bunch of other influencers in the last 5 years.
My bad. I'm fake news in it.
He was supposed to fight Tommy Fury.
That's who he was
Evidently,
supposed
it
to fight.
pulled out because Tommy's excuse was Darren Till said, if I start losing, I'm going to kick you in the head. And he made this post like, hey,
Oh.
I'm pulling out. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Darren Till has threatened to use MMA tactics in a boxing fight. We just can't go in. And Darren was like, dude, I'm promoting the fight. Shut
fucking around.
up. Like,
I
he's
saw-
like, dude, like,
I saw a meme that was like, anyone still debating whether boxers can actually like defend themselves against MMA guys, let this like ring true. That even just the threat of throwing a head kick or a leg kick or something, you got a boxer like running for the covers. You'll never see a boxer step in the cage.
yeah.
Not since James Toney, and they know
Yeah,
why.
supposedly Wilder was going to, but the only other person was Terrence Crawford, who fights amazing at switch stance and wrestled.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He wrestled.
So-
Same thing with Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Vasily Lomachenko had an excellent folk style wrestling background, and there was videos of back when TJ Dillashaw was the bantamweight champion,
Him and
where he would
TJ.
go out there to cross train with him, and they did like boxing rounds where Vasily, just worked TJ. Obviously, like no disrespect to TJ, he was going up against at that time like a prime Vasily.
Yeah.
But then they did some like wrestling too, and I was like, oh shit, like Vasily's got good on his back and good hips and everything, which makes sense because then he has that footwork and that style when it came to boxing.
And Usyk does jiu-jitsu and judo.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say in high school, multi-sport athletes, it would make sense for martial arts too. My wrestling, my folk style wrestling now when I coach has fundamentally changed because of jiu-jitsu. I don't necessarily use a lot of jiu-jitsu in my wrestling, but that hip awareness and that anatomical awareness is completely different. I tell my kids because they're like, Coach, you're doing a whole lot of these things with like your legs and all this other stuff. I go, guys, when I was in high school, I didn't know any of this shit. This is stuff I learned afterwards. So like now when I teach them, I'll teach them like, how to shrimp, not necessarily just the belly down, but how to underhook shrimp so that you can get the back on somebody and get a reversal. This is like jujitsu shit, but you can use it in wrestling.
It's
Slightly
just like
modified.
wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of wrestling that works in jiu-jitsu, but like there's a lot of wrestling that's not a good idea in jiu-jitsu.
The problem is the rules, right? When
Sure.
you change the rules, it's like changes the game.
For sure.
It's all useful. Just change the rule system, change the rule set. Now some things are, some things aren't.
Well, guys, it's official. TikTok is officially banned in the U.S.
Good.
My wife just sent me this.
Good.
She's
See?
heartbroken.
Good.
Yeah.
It's she tried to log in and it says sorry, TikTok is not available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned.
You're going to have to get Congress involved. You're going to have to get the Republicans that just voted to ban it to unban it.
Yeah.
That's in the totem pole of things that are important. How about border and inflation and peace in the Middle East first, please? If you want to get to TikTok after that, cool.
But all those influencers that aren't going to be able to make any money.
I just think it's crazy that we're even talking about it. I know. It's like when China agrees to let Facebook and Twitter and our companies compete on their shores, then okay. It's so insane to me how we like in our pursuit of true open markets and all this other stuff, which I do like the idea of capitalism and let the best, kind of rise to the top. You do have to kind of take into consideration, bad acts. And when this country is not allowing for you to compete on their borders, but then you allow them to compete on yours, what are we doing here?
Doesn't make any sense.
No. Fuck that. Also, I mean, the whole harvesting of data and all that stuff aside, I'm just talking about just like Okay.
Just general.
We'll allow for TikTok to come. TikTok to come over
Sorry.
here, but allow Instagram and Meta to
Go.
go over to
there.
you,
Right.
and also allow for Twitter. Allow for our companies to compete with you, and we'll allow for your companies to compete with us. Fun fact: you can't have TikTok in America, but you can. China can own farmland, U.S. farmland.
Yeah,
in
right next to
America.
military bases.
Right next to military bases. Make that make sense.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. Everybody left us, Erion. Just me and you, buddy.
Now we can finally have that conversation.
What?
Nothing.
No, I'll have it all day. The polar
What
bear.
were you thinking when you were gonna roll with Sean Woodson?
I mean, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I was gonna pull guard and try to leg lock him. Was the game plan?
That's not a bad game plan.
I was thinking he's coming into my world. He doesn't. From my knowledge, he's never done any competitive jiu-jitsu, has he? Do you know? That's something I have more experience than him in. Is he a better athlete than me? For sure. Yeah. Is he? We would have found out, but I think it would have been. I think it would have been fun.
I thought it was cool that you were doing it.
I thought it would have been great.
I thought it was cool that he was. Why did he pull out?
He got a fight.
Oh.
Thursday, 2 days before. He got a fight booked 2 days before the match. Yeah.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason.
And I always knew that was going to be a possibility for sure. But I was fucking
Did you ever talk to him afterwards?
Mm-mm.
No?
No,
You'd like him. He's a pretty cool cat.
Yeah, he seems cool. I listened to your guys' episode. Yeah, I was really bummed because I was like, man, for what I do, that's about as cool as this gets. Like being a jiu-jitsu guy, being able to grapple a UFC fighter with a big name in the city. Yeah, I'll take a little more of that.
Round one just started.
Funny story to add on to that. So Zach's been repping his leg attacks and all that, but we don't really have anyone particularly that we train with the ton that has Sean's build. And then one day
6'1" at 145 pounds. Shocker.
So one day this dude just walks in the gym and he's like
6'7".
He's just 6'7", and we don't know who. And I go, we were just drilling leg attacks. I go, do you mind coming over here? And I was like, Zach's about to go with this tall guy. Can you go? And he's like twice as tall as Sean, and he's not that scared. Like he's probably.
Oh, beautiful throw. Sorry.
And, no worries. And so we started doing on that, and we're like, all right, maybe this guy's too big.
Yeah, well, I was like, man, I can't even grab onto his leg. He's so. I could grab onto his leg.
He's a big fella.
How do you get ready for a 6'1"?
I couldn't hold the knee line because it was
literally we
so
just
long.
look over and this new guy just walks in. I go,
perfect.
I was like, I'm gonna go ask him to use him.
Zach's up to his waist.
Yeah, no, this guy was. I think he's like 6'7". He still trains.
Yeah,
at the gym. Forget his name. Nice guy though. So we are 3 minutes and 38 seconds into round one of the Almeida Spivak fight. For anybody
he's working for these overhooks to prevent from getting struck, but the overhooks won't necessarily better his position. Underhooks will.
Yeah, the only thing he's got.
It's like playing butterfly here.
Yeah, the cage is in his way now.
Well,
I use overhooks for butterfly sweeps.
Well, he's not really in a good position because he's kind of stuck against the cage. And Spivak, that's is exactly what I was going to say. He wants to get a little separate. Oh, my God. Great elbow. Ooh. Beautiful elbow.
Wow.
Almeida's kind of taking him on the chin, which I don't like. If you notice, he's kind of slow to react to him.
He's got his head
means that they're doing damage.
Here. Yeah.
Spivak was like the minus 300, 400 underdog, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, Almeida going underneath the knee when he's collapsed on it, that's just like, dude, you're not going to lift him up from that. All his weight is on that lead knee.
Yeah. He needs to attack. He needs to go under that other leg. Oh, hey.
Wow. Do everything wrong and get it. That's crazy. Thing. That's just one of those things we were talking about where, like, you can get out of bad positions if you're fresh.
Yeah.
Just muscle through. Now let's see Spivak kind of the same.
Almeida beat a guy named Romanov last, but then lost to Curtis Blades via KO, who's a wrestler.
Wow. Curtis Blades KO'd him?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then before that, he beat Derek Lewis, Rosenstreich, and another guy.
And now it's Spivak's turn is back.
Spivak's...
Not bad, though, because he's got that wrist control. He doesn't have to necessarily worry about a rear naked.
And lost to Serial Gone, but beat Lewis.
Almeida's kind of high for like, dude.
And he beat Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Who did? Almeida?
Spivak.
Spivak
Remember
did?
Greg Hardy?
Oh, yeah.
So Greg Hardy was an Ole Miss alumni, and when I was at Ole Miss, he had just left his NFL career and gone back to school at Ole Miss. Ole Miss huge football, so we kind of receive any ex-football player pretty well.
Didn't he get kicked out of the NFL for like
he did
domestic
some-
battery or
beating
some
his
shit?
wife or something?
Yeah, he might be listening to our pod, so we're
It's
gonna.
okay.
Who?
I'm just, Greg Hardy, I'm kidding. But
Listen, man, I'm all for equal fights. How about you just start fighting some guys?
yeah, so he just got knocked out again
Spivak
in
will
a
do it.
boxing league. But so he also, my friend's like who is an art major. He's in his class, and they start hanging out with him and making like music with him and stuff like that. And Greg's just like hanging out with some of my boys on the hockey team. And then I had since left, but then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, I'm going to the
Man,
UFC."
wow,
UFC.
beautiful reversal. These
Damn.
both these guys are kind. Oh man, Almeida with great hands.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic uppercut. Now he's swarming him. No, keep punching. Yeah, keep punching. Just keep punching. Level change into the
Right
double
in-
off the
double,
cage.
Right into mount.
That's exactly what he needs to solidify a close round, right?
Yeah.
This round was relatively close if he doesn't finish it here because he's in full mount.
With 20
I'd say he
seconds
just
left.
won the
Arm bars
round,
right
though,
there.
by judges'
No.
view.
The problem would have been the
Yeah.
cage,
You're right.
right? You need the extension.
You're right. Oh, the rack.
This is even better. Just keep punching. You have to intelligently defend yourself. Yep. That was
Wow.
that was a pretty shitty TKO though as well because it's like the punches weren't necessarily
No, and
there.
there's
That was a
8
little-
seconds left in the round.
And that's why.
But you have to intelligently defend yourself.
Yeah.
Not
But
rely
what
on
if
the
you were
clock.
like 10, 9, 8? In your head, you're just like, I got to get out
Well,
of it.
I guarantee
probably
you
what he
he's
was
not thinking
doing,
about
yeah.
the clock.
Didn't make it to 5.
No, he'll hear the clap because like you,
Oh,
you
yeah,
hear that 10-second
10-second
countdown.
clap, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting fight.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Two quick finishes. 2 first-round finishes in this card so far.
Going home early, boys.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Yeah.
out here by 11.
Yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
that fucking it's in the back of my head, that fucking pothole.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, dude, there's this new pothole off 44 ramp, I guess because of the snow and the ice and everything.
With all
I
the
hit
plows
that
going
shit
through it.
going 50, and luckily for me, I got run flat, so I mean, I can drive home or whatever, but it's just, when something bad happens, you're like, God damn it, like, I'll tack that. I got podcasts tomorrow that I got to do, so now I'm thinking, like, when am I going to find the time to take it in to get it worked on, right?
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Yeah. Is this the same whiskey you gave me before?
Yep.
I like it.
Are you on like sport tires? I don't know what you drive.
Sport tires. It's just frustrating. Tired of
For sure. No,
spending
it
money.
sucks, dude.
Yeah, dude. On
Sorry
the way
that
to, we did the 10th Planet Tanglefoot hosted Squad Scraps. It's like a new local jiu-jitsu tournament that's free for white and blue belts, and it's team oriented. So it's
Well, that's cool.
4 people. You have a max thing of 750 pounds, and they live stream it on YouTube. So
That's pretty cool.
the matchups can be random. You select by coin toss, and then you match. The other team gets to match. Well, I'm like on my way there. I organized our team from Watson's. I'm supposed to coach, blah, 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 and headed there a little early for the rules meeting. I'm on the phone with my brother in the fast lane on 55, and all of a sudden, not a flat tire, a blowout.
Oh shit!
And I just hear it, and I was like, oh, shit. But I'm on 55, so I'm like, no way I'm pulling over, anywhere right here. So I drove on it a bit to get to the Arnold exit shoulder, so I had, like, an extra lane, just because I hear all these horror stories of, pulling over on the side of the highway. You
getting
never know
smacked.
what people are doing. And I thought I had a spare, but now that I'm remembering, I did not have a spare. But I get out, and, like, 5 minutes later, I'm on the phone with AAA. Someone pulls up behind me.
Didn't we have a hockey game that night?
No, not that
No?
night. It was a Friday night. And then,
It's another tire he popped, probably.
yeah. And then, so this guy pulls off. He goes, oh, I saw it blow out. Saw a Ford fucking Ranger. Had to go home, get my jack.
There's matches,
Came
and I
back
think
to
there might
help
be
you
another
out.
one.
I got just a Bic here.
But I was like, yeah, I don't have a spare. AAA pulled up. I was like, man, I kind of got somewhere to be, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, if you just change your tire shop or wherever you want to drop it to Festus, which is like 45 minutes from my house. But I was in Arnold. He's like, I'll just take you there. And so we dropped it off at a tire shop, and I pulled up to this tournament and just hopped out of a tow truck, like a full-blown flatbed tow truck, and just walked inside. I was like, hey, gotta drop me off.
Boys.
And he had, it was kind of funny. He had a little, like, probably 1-year-old wiener dog
Just chilling
in the truck. But I was so anxious about it. You get worked up about it. I'm dropping my truck off 45 minutes from my house. I'm like, this is just going to be a pain. And I was like, damn, I do have this little nice dog that just sat in my lap. It was like a calming dog the whole time.
It's a therapy dog.
I was like, I can't be that upset. I got this little dog right here. He's
His
looking
dog
at my
hanging out with
face.
me.
It's probably why he has this, a therapy dog for the people that he picks up. And so he
No,
doesn't
I
think it's
said it.
threatening.
He goes, well, and right when he said it, I go, X. He's like, yeah, I just had a breakup, and I had to take the dog. I was like, I knew it. But yeah, he was. A
Your
cool
quickest
guy.
way to end a relationship, get a dog together.
Yeah.
Really?
If you're dating
makes
somebody.
Don't tell me that. I just brought home a puppy.
Well, you're
like,
married.
my
That's
wife did not.
that's different. That's different. You're married. You're married. If you're dating somebody and you want that relationship to get over, just get a dog. Just get a dog.
I can think of a couple now that you mention it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that were dating, got dogs, and
Yep.
that was it.
That was the end.
That was the end.
The beginning of the end. Man. So next we got the Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska, I think, right?
Oh yeah, already.
Boys. Who do you guys got in that one?
Jamal, unfortunately,
Yeah, I do too.
I've got Jamal. I feel
straight punches.
like Yuri.
Straight punt. Yeah, Yuri
Leads
just
with
he's
his
too
head.
Yuri's wild. I mean, anything can happen, but my heart wants Yuri just because I think he's a fucking animal, and I love that Bushido style of like,
that
I
samurai
die or
warrior.
you die.
That samurai warrior,
Those
like
3 days quiet rooms.
yeah, he
goes to.
sat in a dark room for
for
3
3
days.
days.
I forget who it was. I was listening to your
He's on that a
podcast, and you had him on. I guess it's probably within the last month, but he was talking about. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to decision.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ray Hayes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not losing 30-27. I'm going to that last round. I'm either going to knock you out or I'm getting knocked out, and I'm not afraid to get knocked out. I'm like,
That's cold.
that's fucking badass.
Ray was also
He's got a fight coming up, right?
with David Evans. That's gonna be a good fight. Considering also that David Evans is no slouch and Ray's coming off his first loss as a professional, it's ballsy on. Listen, Ray's just got balls. He's a ballsy guy. He's a fighter. He's a
Yeah,
fighter.
you got to be a wild person, man. You got to be a wild person to get into a locked cage in your underwear with another grown man who wants to kill you.
There's a
I
lot of
couldn't
guys.
imagine
There's a lot of guys that do it that aren't wild.
Yeah. Had you ever been in a fight outside of training?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then a couple.
I was very pleasant.
Like before training, like before.
before
No,
you were
man, because-
training like all the time.
No, because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was a smaller guy, so I was careful not to fuck with anybody.
Yeah.
And then even now, I mean, just because I'm, that I have some skills, it's not like I'm looking for confrontation. The problem is when you have the propensity for violence that then becomes an option, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to run. I'm only going to give so much ground. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? And people don't necessarily respond to go fuck yourself that well.
No, not really.
But I've never started I've never started anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a confrontational
I'm
person.
excited for that right there.
There's nothing worse since starting jiu-jitsu than like going to a bar. I probably have like 5 people a night from like high school day, just from the outer
they fuck with
circle
you?
of school that come out to me. They're like, oh, I'm going to start jiu-jitsu, blah, blah, asking. And then there's always one guy who's like, you're going to be with us tonight when we get into someone. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to be the first one that's already home.
yeah, no chance. I have no desire.
I already
to go
know
fight.
like where this is going. And once you see true violence, you're like, it's a 50-50 shot.
well, the other-
and in St. Louis,
I'll be
like,
honest,
God
yeah.
knows what's going to
I
happen.
mean, the other night when
I'll tell you what happens. The majority of people out there don't know how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
And then you start to think to yourself, why was this guy so confident coming into this confrontation when he has no idea how to truly be dangerous? That was the thing.
Shit got wild the other night at hockey, and Nick was right in the middle. I'm like, oh boy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, there were some crazy hits. One
yeah.
dude was like, I'm like trying to remember.
Shit, the first
Just
three.
like rec hockey, just
Oh,
for
yeah,
fun?
this-
Just
well,
men's
my
league,
my
but-
first 3 shifts of the game, this was against a team that I'd already separated my shoulder, and I had gotten hit on the top of my head and got knocked out going into the corner. This is men's league hockey. And the
Everyone's
first
got day jobs. Let's
I
relax, guys.
remember that very first? Oh no, you weren't. Were you on the
I don't
team
think
yet?
I was on the first game.
Yeah, the very
I was
first.
a couple
It was
late.
against the Grizzlies. That team we played, and I made a move where I went wide, and then I was cutting in tight, coming in on the net. Well, some guy came from the opposite side and just fucking laid me out. I went into the corner, and I was down for a while.
Yeah.
That was the very first game of the season. Then the next one you were at when we played at Kirkwood, where I pulled the rookie of the year flying.
That's like typically the biggest dude on the ice, 5 feet in the air, just soaring.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, separated my shoulder, and then we played him again the other night, and shit. Like my first 3 shifts of the game, I mean, I was just, I'm like, I'm gonna lay the law down. Like I'm not fucking around this game. You guys are not. You're not pulling the same shit you pulled last game. First shift, I get fucking hooked and go down. Didn't call a penalty. Go back out there the next shift, and that's when I was like fucking furious. Laid a guy out in the corner, and then stood another guy up at the blue line. And then from there on, it was just like, this is going to be the pace of the game. And then people were just throwing bodies, and
Isn't it crazy how people get so competitive on shit that doesn't matter? That was the fight. Can I tell you what happened? We were at Veta, indoor soccer, C division. None of us are the athletic people. Yeah. My brother. Here's the thing. The reason why I got into this fight was because my brother. Right, my older brother. I only have one brother, and this guy was like starting shit with Andy, and you know, he went to take Andy down, and I could tell that he had some wrestling or some jiu-jitsu, and he had taken my brother's back. At first, I was like, one-on-one, I'm going to let this play out.
This is on the field?
This is on the field, yeah. By the way, I'll tell you a good story because Woody was there.
Oh, great.
Woody was our goalie. Anyway, so he takes my brother's back, and that's when I was like, okay, Andy's probably going to lose this fight because Andy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy does. So I go, hey, you need to get off my brother. And mind you, there's like, 6-on-6, so there's like a bunch of people. I just walk in there. I'm very calm, and I'm like, hey, you need to get off my brother. And he's not getting off my brother. I go, okay, listen, I'm going to fuck you up if you don't get off my brother. Still not getting off my brother. I hit him as hard as I can right in the fucking nose.
So he's on your brother's back? Or
he's got my brother's back.
And you just like reached
and
down
I was like, I need you to let go of my brother. And I'm talking very like right now, like, hey, get off my brother. And he's like, working for like the rear naked. I go, I need you to get off my brother. If you don't get off my brother, I'm going to fuck you up. I hit him one time. And what's crazy was, like, I was expecting his guys to get in once I hit him because now it's like 2-on-1. Yeah. Like, he needs new boys. Like, that's what he needs. He needs new friends. Because, like, if my buddy is fighting some guy and then another guy comes in and punches him in the face, well, now this is going to be 2-on-2. At least.
But sometimes it's the case of, hey, that guy's already an idiot who's always looking to. I have those friends who I'm like, this guy's an idiot. He's looking for a fight. And all of us have told him every other weekend,
maybe
we're not going to get in a fight. And then he finally does it. We're like, all right, let's see. They probably were like, you finally got hit in the face.
So I stick him in the nose, immediately starts bleeding, and I stick him again in the eye, black eye, right? And then he lets go. Andy, like, turns around and he's going to, like, fight him. I grab my brother, and my brother's bigger than me, but, like,
no, I got you.
Andy's like, no, I got you. I was like, get the fuck off, right? Here's the problem. We're at Veta with, like, kids. So people start calling the cops. And, like, Woody and Andy are all like, we got to get the fuck out of here. We got to get the fuck out of here. I'm, like, casually walking. I'm like, listen, if the cops are going to ask me, I'm like, listen, he wouldn't get off my brother, so I had to hit him. You know what I mean? This isn't an assault. You're like, they were fighting, Yeah. So, like, Woody got so fucking mad at me. Woody's like, let's fucking go here. And I was like, you guys can go. I bought a beer. I'm going to drink my beer. Like, I'm not running away. This is Veta. Relax, everybody. Dude, it's so funny to see, like, guys that you think can kind of keep their cool, but when shit actually goes down, and by the way, shit didn't even go down. We are at Veta. Like, this is a scuffle, right? The cops are like, are you fucking kidding me? Why did anyone call us? Like, it was already, like, done by the time the cops got there. And, like, everyone's trying to, like, scram out of there. I was like, dude, fuck this. I'm going to buy my beer. I'm going to drink it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. That was, like, the last confrontation. It didn't even involve me. It was my brother. I will, listen, I'm a ride or die like that. If you're my blood, I'll go to war. So I got one brother, and even if he's in the wrong, I'll be in the wrong with him. It did feel good, though, to hit somebody. Not going to lie.
For sure. No gloves.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I felt bad for that guy a little bit. Was
it true with guys like this and professional fighters, you can get in a lot of trouble? Because wouldn't that be like,
Nope.
Yo, that is the
Their
biggest
hands are
rumor.
lethal weapons.
Your
That's
lethal
a common
weapons.
myth.
You have knee sleeves on?
Yeah.
I've been curious about how hard I can.
Darren Till
throw
had
a punch.
knee-high socks on in his boxing
Oh,
fight.
did he?
Can you wear? I didn't know you could wear knee sleeves.
Different
As-
commissions all
yeah.
have different.
Whatever the state allows.
The foot, even the foot
the
sleeves
sleeves,
are
like
different states allow
ankle?
those.
Ankle sleeves.
We're working on getting Uriah Hall onto the podcast because
Really?
my producer Adrian
be
knows
sick.
him. Yeah, so I got his number and we have a meeting on Monday.
Should have him and Adam Sell on together.
No, I know. Trust me.
I was
Trust
just
me.
yeah.
Uriah Hall went on the influencer boxing and he fought who was that? Huge wide receiver.
Love you, Adam. Just fucking around.
Well, the reason I brought him up was because we were talking about the state athletic commissions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He was originally slated to fight Vitor Belfort at that UFC St. Louis, like I think 4 or 5 years ago. But Uriah had a bad weight cut and passed out in the elevator. And someone told Tim Lukanoff, and Tim Lukanoff forced that fight off. So, like, that fight was deemed that, like, oh, like, Uriah Hall can't make it, so, like, whatever. But what really happened was Tim Lukanoff said, if this guy's passing out in the elevator, we can't let him fight. The UFC pressured Tim Lukanoff because, I mean, they have some sway, right? Like, a UFC fight comes into town, it's $100,000 in taxable revenue for the state easily. You know what I mean? And they were like, come on, Tim, like, work with us here. And Tim was like, go fuck yourself. I've already had people die. I'm not risking that anymore. Because remember that pro wrestler? I don't know if you saw that Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix. Owen Hart. That was Missouri.
Yeah, that was in
Really?
Kansas City.
That was Tim Lukanoff was the state athletic commission.
He fell from the rafters.
Yes.
He was just pulling a stunt and fell from the rafters.
Yes.
Fuck.
So and then by the way, that same week a boxer had died.
I started that documentary. I need to
Yeah,
finish it.
Uriah Hall fought Le'Veon Bell, who is a huge
Really?
time football player.
Yeah.
And then he also
Oh, yeah.
then he
And
fought Julio
it didn't go
Cesar
so well
Chavez.
for Le'Veon.
What'd
Right?
you say?
Didn't Le'Veon get knocked out?
He beat Le'Veon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I know,
Le'Veon's
that's what
not
I'm
a
saying.
fighter.
I
He's
know,
a
he's not a
football
fighter.
player.
And Uriah Hall is also a dangerous striker.
Striker.
Maybe that's why Le'Veon Bell went to shit in football.
Well, it's a perfect example of someone who.
What is
you
he
know,
doing? Is he not making enough money in football? Like why
Oh,
is
he's
he doing
done playing
No,
football.
he
He
did
retired.
this like
But I'm
last
saying like
year.
didn't he make enough money? Like
he boxed as
have
a,
you seen Have you seen the documentary on Netflix
worked
or
out
the
at a
30 for
title
30
boxing.
called Broke?
how many guys are broke afterwards?
Oh gosh, if you haven't seen it, if that is an unbelievable documentary. One of my old pitching coaches was on it. Rest in peace, Tom Browning. He's one of the few Cincinnati Reds pitchers to throw a perfect game.
Oh, shout out.
But
Also rest in peace, forgive me.
yeah, but he was one of like talks about making a ton of money and then going like losing it all, and he's on there talking about it. But basically, they go into the aspects of professional athletes, how much money they make, the entourage,
His
and
fucking
like
stare down is intense.
how many guys go
He's
broke.
giving him a double thumbs up.
Shut the fuck up. The worst tattoos in the UFC.
They are the worst tattoos in the UFC. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah,
Is it 2 thumbs
Diego
up?
Lopez.
The worst, dude.
Diego
Get that
Lopez
shit
has
covered
a
up,
pretty rough
please.
one.
I know this
You
isn't
make
like
so much money.
I know this isn't the biggest thing to say about like physique mattering in fighting, but there is something to be said about like the depths of one's body compared to like how hard they train. Yuri's shredded, and Jamal Hill
Looks
looks
kinda-
Jamal Hill
Doughy.
like 3 months ago was looking
fat.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked pretty
I
So
think-
he's in that like training camp shape, you know, that speed workout. And then, but again,
Talking about
Milk
Bruce
Bag,
Buffer's
Ben
tuxes.
Askren.
Dude, look at that ring.
Never
Dude,
looked
that
good.
is sexy.
You know when they were doing a little thing on him, I want to say like 10 years ago, ESPN was. It was all about how he was like just smashing. Like Bruce Buffer was fucking everybody.
Really?
Like yes, ring card girls, like people at events and shit. Like dude, Bruce Buffer gets down.
yeah.
God bless him. He's on some
like a
TRT.
marketing
He's
genius.
banging.
You know he's on TRT.
Banging.
He also got into a fight with a UFC fighter in the elevator. I forgot. I think it was Sean Shirk. Yeah, Bruce Buffer don't fuck around.
But you guys hear that story about him and his brother? About how they
met.
met?
Yes.
Like, weren't until later in life.
They realized they were actually like related.
Yeah.
They,
Mike Buffer, right?
Mike.
the guy
That's
who-
crazy that they went in.
WWE. Let's
Yeah, they
get
went into the
ready
same
to
profession.
rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's the thing was Bruce reached out to Mike for like advice on like I think that's how they connected.
No, Bruce was giving Mike advice.
Was it
on
the other
patenting or trade? Sorry, not
Yeah.
patenting, trademarking. Let's get ready to rumble. So now, whenever they use it in a video game or whenever they do anything, they had to pay a royalty to Michael Buffer because he trademarked that. Let's
Yeah.
get ready to rumble. By the way, it's time trademarked. That's why
yeah.
you notice all of these announcers all have like a distinct thing that they say, and they all trademark their shit.
It's smart.
It is.
We should trademark the Tombstone game.
Yeah.
You have to prove that no one else has done it before you, though. That's the tough part.
Oh, we got it from a book. Fuck.
So, tough.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Damn it.
all right. What are we
Mike
thinking?
Beltran with his
What are our
handlebar
picks
mustache that
again?
goes down to his waist.
I got Jamal.
I got Jamal.
You got Jamal? Yeah, I got Jamal as well.
Oh no, now
I
seeing him
want Yuri, though. I
seeing,
want Yuri.
seeing him.
I don't know. The way
It's the knee pads. It's the knee pads.
Yeah.
Yuri's got his hands up. I mean, well,
No,
he normally keeps
just
them,
wait
like,
till he starts fighting.
5
Yeah.
seconds in. Yeah, there's just like a whole
Dude,
30-second
he is
road clip of him
substantial.
They're as
blocking
big as I.
jabs.
There's big as I. Well, weight wise, they're a lot, but
No, Yuri-
height wise, we're the same size as these.
Yuri
guys.
looks much
You
bigger
are
than
the same
Jamal.
size.
He said we're-
you are the same size as them,
yeah.
Pat.
We're
Nobody
the
else-
under
we are-
6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Pat's like, yeah, they're
I
not
should
that
say- I
big.
should say me and Erion are not.
They're a little more cut than I am.
Hey,
Little-
man,
little more
you stay on
lean.
this. You stay on this. Cheap
There's no
nutrition,
way.
and you'll be,
I'm not trying to get down to 235. No.
Hey, bro.
What do you
if
weigh
got
right
down to
now?
235. You'd be
260,
shredded.
267.
You look
Yeah,
like
but you're not
Yuri if
fat. You're like a pretty good like 267.
If you got down to 230, you look
Skinny
like Yuri
fat.
if you were. You look like Yuri if you were 235.
Yeah.
Ooh, beautiful slip and rip. Jamal's hurt.
Gina went to her first CrossFit class today, Pat.
Did she?
Yeah.
She like it?
Yeah, she did great.
She go to Chief?
Yeah,
Nice.
she liked it.
Bring
She
a
did good.
friend.
Yeah,
Bring a
it was
wife.
I brought 2 other people
Yeah,
this week too.
Brian
and Katie. It was
Yeah,
good.
I'm excited to have Brian on. It was
Brian's gonna be
great.
great.
Having Katie on was great.
Yeah, she was good.
She's awesome.
It's a great transition. Jamal hit him in the dick. Yuri's got a big target.
Oh, don't let him wave it off. Don't let him wave it off.
Yeah, don't let him wave it. Yeah, fucking last time that didn't work out too well for him.
Pereira's in the crowd like,
he's like,
Chama.
Shama. Did you see how he
Is
he
the
did that,
co
step
after
on-
this?
He stepped on his foot.
Damn,
Co's
dude.
after this, yeah.
This is what I thought was going to be the difference maker here was Jamal's straight punches versus Yuri's like awkward style. They've both had some early success in first round though, so it's like, let's see who can capitalize. He did clip Jamal and hurt
Really?
him.
You can
But
see
then-
it swelling
then-
under his left eye.
Yeah, but then Jamal got the respect back by sticking Yuri pretty hard. Yuri is so like
Yeah, he looks so much bigger, doesn't he?
no, but like Yuri's like the testament of like you can do everything wrong striking wise and still knock people out. Like hands down, wild motion. He does a lot of things that I would
You know
tell
what
someone.
he reminds me of? Remember those T-Rex things that you could put your hands in and you could pull the thing? Because like he's down here and he's just like,
T-Rex.
do you remember
arms.
those toys?
The Rock'em Sock'em.
No.
By the way,
not-
if he was in this room,
No,
I
hold
would
on.
not say any of these things.
no chance. He's
Great technique. I would.
Go on.
Ooh, beautiful too.
Yuri before he
Oh,
before Yuri came to the UFC.
beautiful two from Yuri. Drop Jamal. Jamal's still on wobbly legs. He got up to his feet, but Yuri's looking.
Yuri, quit getting in there.
Yuri's looking to slip and rip.
I know. I was gonna
Jamal's
say.
really pushing these shots now.
Oh,
Jamal is not moving his head off the center line and eating a lot of. Oh my God! Beautiful knee by Yuri as well.
Yuri's getting
Ooh.
tagged though.
I don't think he cares.
This fucking thing.
You don't care.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he kind of looks like that.
That's it.
We're about a minute 30 left in the
Ooh,
first
good
round.
slip.
Jamal is on still on wobbly legs.
On some,
Well, he's
some
got knee
Bambi
braces
legs.
on.
Yeah, those are keeping him up.
Artificial support.
Yeah.
Yuri's just so
Performance
awkward.
enhancing. It's not fair.
Oof, oof.
But Yuri waited a long time to get in the UFC. He was a pretty.
See, you see how he's slipping and ripping
Yeah.
with that? Oh,
knee,
beautiful knee
big
right off the
knee.
top. Dude, Jamal is on Queer Street right now, and he's exhausted. All Yuri needs is a well-placed 2 or a 3, and it might be over.
I mean, Jamal just hit him right on the chin there and didn't even phase him.
No. Yuri's like, I eat this, brother.
I eat this.
By the way, remember when they were supposed to fight when Jamal was the champ and like Yuri posted that video of like him and some like Siberian.
Yeah. I'm ready.
And he's like,
I'm coming.
I'm coming. And then Jamal responds outside when it's snowing. He's like, okay.
Jamal responded in the snow, and he's like, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so good. Lots of blood coming out of Jamal's nose.
Yeah, Jamal's
Jamal's
fucking breathing
swinging
hard.
heat, though.
All mouth breathing, mouth wide open.
Well, if his nose is broken,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the only option.
beautiful teep to the body. That shit sucks, man. Zaps the wind out of you.
Ooh.
Jamal looks gassed, doesn't he?
Yep.
This is swelling on that right eye, too.
Beautiful kick, though, right after I say that. He's wearing this round already, though.
Oh, for sure.
Nose,
Even the way he's walking.
swelling on
Look
the
at way
lead
he's
eye.
walking, man. He's got the, like, Bambi legs, you know? Swelling on that right eye, busted up nose.
One of my favorite things to do is actually when I watch fights is like really pay attention or listen to the instruction from the corners in between rounds.
Yeah.
And you can tell the depth of a cornerman based on the instruction they give you. And then you realize how many of these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about because they'll say shit like, we need to pick up the pace. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Like,
Yeah, okay.
how about something like, hey, when he
How about some
slips your 2,
constructive
raise your rear hand because he's coming back with the check 3.
We don't need to dive into it, but who were your main head coaches for the most of your career?
Oh, that's a good question. Jesus. The best coach I think I ever had was my very first coach, Jay Diamato. Rest in peace, Jay. He was the most experienced. I didn't realize that at the time, but his depth of knowledge of combat, not just martial arts, but combat was second to none. But the second best to him was Jeff Henry, who right now is training. He helps train like Charles Johnson and Joaquin Buckley now, and a slew of other fighters like Jackson McVeigh and them. But Jeff Henry would probably be the second best. Like
That's not the guy who
MMA
owns
coach.
the garage boxing gym.
No, he's the guy with the mullet.
Is he out of St. Charles MMA?
Yeah. And then Mop would be number 3. I was blessed with good coaches at different parts of my career when I needed them.
It's amazing how a good coach can change things.
Oh, yeah. Or a bad coach can ruin
Right,
things.
good or bad.
And Nick and I can definitely speak on that. I mean, him and I both had different jiu-jitsu coaches. We had 2 different jiu-jitsu coaches before who we have now, and it's just, I mean, no disrespect to the other 2 guys, but I mean, Kyle and
Well, dude, Kyle's also
Kyle's-
amazing.
I mean, he's amazing. And Trevor.
Woo! Beautiful little slip.
Trevor, who we had on the podcast this past week, he's like the daytime. He coaches the day classes.
Talk about a great freaking fight from some big boys. They're looking like lightweights.
I was
out
going to
there.
say how timid they were the first 30 seconds, and now they're letting it kind of fly.
This is a fight.
But you're realizing how, like, unorthodox Yuri is.
Eye poke.
Yeah.
Jamal.
It's fine. It's fine. He'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be fine.
That wasn't bad.
That didn't look that bad.
Compared to some of the shit we've seen.
Yeah, where the fucking one
Yeah,
knuckle
nothing's
deep.
crazier when they show that replay and you just see knuckle deep.
Yeah,
You're like,
knuckle
oh
deep
my
in the eye. You're
god.
like, God,
Like, I'm happy this guy's eye is still there.
it's still there. Yeah, fuck, dude. Mike Beltran's mustache is fucking legendary.
He's a great ref.
I think it goes all the way down to his belt. Just can't imagine growing something like that on my face for that many years.
Wonder what
You know what I
kind of-
wish they had technology that would force the hand closed until a grappling exchange. Like, you could not open your hand unless you were going to grab something. You know what I mean?
Or, I mean, what if you just had like
It'd be
a glove
insane
that had
technology.
something over the fingers?
How do
know,
you
like-
how do you grab
How do
when
you
you're trying to do
grapple?
jujitsu?
Well, like, I mean, like literally just like a thing like over your fingers this way.
A
and then-
mitten?
like a mitten, yeah. It's like a mitten with an open palm.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's already hard enough to get good grips with like your hand with those gloves on because you have the wrap underneath it. I can't express to you how
that's something I
difficult
don't
it
have
is.
any experience with. I don't know.
Oh,
if I've ever
beautiful
tried to-
uppercut.
I've, like,
Jamal caught him.
I've never tried to grapple with gloves on.
Well, wrap your hands and then put on small gloves and then try to grab somebody's wrist and then you'll understand because it's like I mean you could do it tomorrow when you go to jiu-jitsu. Like it's not
Good
like
exchange right there.
He got poked.
you know what it does? It prevents you from closing your hand completely. You're forced to like squeeze with your fingers like a C grip because the palm has so much tape and leather on it that you can't close your hand. Does that make sense?
just all
You
fingers.
can close it to make a fist. So that's why when you grab,
That was way worse.
you're kind of forced with your fingers.
That was
That
way
was
worse.
knuckle deep.
Yeah. God, dude.
All right, well now we're 1-1.
Yeah.
It's fair. I'm surprised Yuri didn't poke himself in the eye to make it honorable after he poked him. I'm
the
sorry,
other-
brother.
Poke the other one.
Now we only have one eye each.
He goes, I spent 3 days in the darkness. I am ready.
I don't need to see.
What
was
was that
born in the
stoppage that just
darkness.
happened?
What?
That stoppage. That the lady came in, looked at it for like 1 second.
Oh God,
just
what
waved it
was
off.
that? Oh, we were watching in my house. I can't remember.
Today?
No.
No, this was
Last-
This is
within
like-
the last month or two.
This was the last UFC
Pay-per-view.
pay-per-view
Fuck,
in
it was so bad. It was
2024.
a bad doctor stoppage. And it was like, oh, of course, it's a woman doctor. Everybody
Oh,
was like,
Covington.
oh, yes.
Covington Buckley. How did we forget that?
Yes, Covington Buckley.
Oh, I thought we were talking about today. My bad.
No, Covington, I mean, he was cut up, but he was fine. And she just goes, she looks at him, and you know it's not professional when she can't even keep it straight. She's like,
No,
no,
She
you know,
walks in
it's
the
like,
cage,
she's never
like,
seen a
making-
laceration
it's
in her
like,
life.
it's like
Yeah,
you're
she
the
walks
doctor,
in the cage
man.
having like a, you know,
Like she just looked at him, was like, oh, what? And you're like, even if it's the worst cut ever, you should be able to look at it and just be like, let me see.
I've seen something like this before.
I mean, it's pretty fucked up. I mean,
Yeah, but the worst one I've seen was Diaz Masvidal when it was completing the circle around his
I
eye.
don't think anyone has more scar tissue on their face than Nate Diaz.
No, dude, he gets cut open so quick.
Maybe Diego Sanchez. That boy, like you
Masvidal
touch him and he's got a
kicked him in
vagina
the
above his eye. Okay, now let us kill each other.
Now we fight.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Sorry.
What?
It's so hard to like narrate what's going on
I
because
know you can't like.
it's a lot of head movement, a lot of wow. Okay, Jamal just throws
Jamal
that
with me
overhand and
too.
lands it.
Yeah, like I don't even think Jamal throws kicks. Has he?
He threw a couple kicks.
Threw a
what the
couple?
fuck was the little hop right
he
there?
thought he was gonna do a flying knee, but Jamal wasn't coming in.
little,
Oh, beautiful slip and
Another
rip.
little quick jab there at the end on that
I'll
one.
tell you
Yeah,
what,
I
man,
would
this is a
love to
great
meet-
fucking
Ooh.
fight.
I would love to meet Yuri's like top 4 training partners. They're probably like, this guy is.
It's the wacky waving inflatable tool guy from every like.
He doesn't have.
That's who
any.
he does head movement drills with. I can move better than you.
He's got a great Instagram.
Yuri does.
Yeah.
I don't even think I follow him.
Oh, he takes just like photos in front of waterfalls and just all sorts of samurai
Just fucking
photos.
screams at nature and like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, there's a
beautiful.
good right hook.
Jamal's hurt him.
It's a great
This
fight.
fight's not going like I thought it would at all.
How did you think it was gonna go?
I just thought Jamal was going to come out and look.
Jamal
Better
just
than-
doesn't look like he's in shape.
I'll
He
say,
fights like
listen,
this,
I'll say this: Jamal's winning this round.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
First round was all Yuri. With some
What's
some
crazy
moments.
is Jamal fought in the weight class below this.
Yeah, lost to Paul Craig by
That's
armbar.
right, arm.
You remember his
Did
arm?
he break his arm?
He was whipping him in the triangle. And his arm was
Everyone
just like,
thought it was broken, but he dislocated it at the elbow, and everyone thought that the arm was gone. And then apparently, when they got back to the back, they just popped it back into place. But yeah, everyone thought it was broken.
he was elbowing.
Even
elbowing
Jamal
him
thought it was broken. Jamal's like, "Shit, good to him. He didn't tap."
in the triangle, and his arm was just like
Yeah, just flopping around.
You know what
Paul
makes you
Craig's
think
got the nastiest triangle.
these guys have been hitting each other for like 10 minutes, and they're both still standing. Meanwhile, Pahea has knocked out both of these guys, right? So it just goes to show you how hard that motherfucker hits.
He's got lightning in his hands.
It's like Yuri's angry that he he's dodging shit that Jamal's throwing, and then he's getting angry that Jamal's missing. Like, hit me. Now they're both, yeah. I love you too. I'm going to go sit on my stool, and then let's kill each other some more.
This is fun.
All right, I got one apiece.
Yeah. 1-1.
Dude, those Mickey Mouse hands get me.
Dude, they're so bad.
What was he thinking when he got
I
that?
don't know.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, dude,
And here's the thing.
I don't get shitty tattoos, man.
They're just stretching.
Well, you can tell when a fighter gets money because they'll have like little shitty tattoos and then like this fucking 3-dimensional lion with like a forest behind them. And you're like, okay, when did that one happen?
Nothing's like Dan Hooker, who literally just
got
went
all of
no
these out of
tattoos
nowhere.
from his and then he got both of his legs tatted, both of his arms, his chest, like his whole body got fucking
I
tattooed.
think he's got a neck one now
Yeah.
too.
Like, dude, his whole thing.
That's a bold one, right? It's like you better have a
bold
backup
one.
plan, brother.
That's a bold one. You know, you and I we're covered when we put a shirt on. You know, like
Yeah, I
keeping
made
it off my hands, my neck, my face. You know, like it's
no regrets.
no regrets. Yeah, it's a.
Okay,
All right, let's hug it out before we fuck each other up.
yes, now kill me.
Here he comes out with a blindfold in the third round.
Here's the type of guy that'll cut off his own arm and be like, okay, I have to kill you before I bleed out. You know, I don't really have like favorite fighters per se, but Yuri might be up there for me actually. In guys that I just want to see win.
He's hard to root against.
He's got a true martial arts mindset too. He's got really good hot takes.
Dude,
cut
he would perform seppuku. Like he would be that guy who's like, I must now go kill myself.
He cut off his ponytail because of his he had that.
Oh! He hurt Jamal with that slip and rip.
But don't get chasing.
Oh.
Dude, Jamal's hurt. Oh, great answers, though, with uppercuts
Yeah.
and knees. They're both in the clinch throwing hard. I wonder if that swelling's affecting that lead eye of Jamal because his eye's almost
Yeah, I was
shut.
gonna say Jamal's eyes looking bad.
I hate that this is a 3-rounder.
Fuck,
You know what I think should be legal?
Illegal or legal?
Legal.
What?
Headbutts.
Headbutts? Yeah, because there's not enough CT in the world.
I mean,
Says the jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah, says the jiu-jitsu guy.
how many times have you looked at a guy and just been like, you know, if
Man,
I just
right here, I could
smacked
really
you
throw my
between the
forehead into
eyes
your
right
teeth.
now, your guard would not be as good.
Just a
Boy,
flying
I just want
headbutts.
to throw my forehead into your teeth
Nick's like,
right now.
Nick's like, there's not enough brain damage.
I mean, you use them wisely.
I'd be fine with soccer kicks on the ground. Like I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. But it was tough when you saw Demetrius Johnson just get freaking smoked with that. You're like, oh, these are
Yeah, he got
fast.
him back in the rematch, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Beautiful
remember a
body
schoolyard fight in 7th grade. We were on the track. These two kids got into it, and they're looking at each other, and they're both kind of like punking each other out with just head movement. And then this kid, Jared, just winds up and just wham right between the nose, and all the kids are like, holy crap, he just headbutted him.
Beautiful knee. Dude, yours is like moving so much and oh! Jamal's on the ground. Yuri took his back. He's punching him. Jamal's still trying to get up.
Oh,
Wow, what a
fuck.
recovery. Jamal's still in
What
it,
a
man.
warrior.
Jamal's hurt, though. Jamal's hurt. Uppercut. Fell again.
The only thing is,
There's still 2 minutes in this
Dude.
round. This might be it. This might be
This is
it. That's it. That's it.
Woo!
Yuri with the
Yuri
TKO.
with the TKO.
My
Boom.
heart, my
Called
heart
it, bitches.
Yeah,
That's like, y'all don't know shit.
dude.
that was,
That was a hell of a
That was
fight.
That was a
fucking
great
I
awesome
will
fight.
say though, none of that made me be like, they're gonna beat Pereira.
No,
No.
there's zero chance.
Nick's like, I'll tell you what, they bring headbutts in, they might.
Now you see Pereira's forehead? That thing's fucking massive.
Dude, he's the Stonehenge guy.
Yeah.
He has a melon.
It is so
Or
crazy
the
to me.
Easter Island guys. Yeah.
It is so crazy to me how, he's been in there with like all these killers and he's gotten like hit with so many shots, and then it was Adesanya that put him away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of everybody. And I know Adesanya is a great striker, but he's not necessarily like a power puncher. But it's that case of like when you hit someone right, you never have to hit them hard. That was Adesanya.
Yeah.
But also Pereira was cutting crazy weight for those.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
was
'cause
cutting
that
crazy
wasn't-
weight and beat him the first fight, right?
Yeah.
And got caught with the same punch at the same part of that first round.
Yeah, and wobbled.
Oh, that slip and rip.
Big right hand.
Oof.
Ooh.
You got to pick up your fucking hands too, man.
Jamal's been loud these past few months. Let's see what he comes up with.
Well, I mean, listen, dude. When you're fighting Alex Pereira and Yuri Prohaska, one was a former champion, one's the current champion. It's like, that's the one thing I don't necessarily like is when people shit on fighters who are like, oh, you fucking lost, you fucking pussy. It's like, dude, yeah, who did he lose to?
Yeah.
The best in the world?
No,
Well,
I
that's
think
the
he's
thing was
great.
how is
The guy who
Hill-
was the best in the world.
was Hill ranked higher than Yuri?
Who?
Hill.
Hill?
Uh,
I thought they showed Hill at number 2, Yuri at number 3.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's
dude, the
because
rankings are, I don't know. I feel like you can't always.
Yuri beat Glover Teixeira beat. I'm trying to think of like the succession of the light
Is there
heavyweight
a
belts
letter
right
thing?
now.
Yeah, I got one here.
I know there's matches in there. I'm not sure if
What do I
there's a
do with
ladder in there. I should have brought mine.
Yeah, I'm not crazy, right? Okay,
Oh,
cool.
here's butane.
I don't know what I do here. Oh, yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I feel like we've been here for a while, and we're just not getting to the co-main. But the first two
Yeah.
fights were actually relatively
Hand me
quick.
that thing.
It's only 10:30. We've been up to 1 in the morning for
Yeah,
so many
well, we might.
UFC fights.
The next fights are probably going to go. I mean,
Yeah.
at least the next fight has a high likelihood of going 25 minutes.
100%.
Zach actually had to start Fight Companions just so he was forced to stay up to watch the fights. He
Yeah,
would,
you're right.
he's a pro snoozer towards the co-main main event. I'd be like, Zach, you just need to stand up.
Well, it's because we fucking get so fucking stoned.
Hey, my mom listens.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
No drugs were taken.
Nothing, Lisa.
I don't know
doesn't
what
already
Yuri is
know.
saying right now, but I'm going to voice it for you. I was thinking I was going to die today, and it being my last day, I ate like the heart of a lion and the balls of an elephant. And now that I stand before you still alive, I am very grateful.
And tomorrow I'm going back into the darkness.
This is great, Joe. I have been brooding for 4 months, and I haven't seen the sun. Tomorrow, I will wake on a grateful world. Pulls like a Thanos, just like.
Bulls of Bane.
Did you ever see that Nina interview with Tom Aspinall when Tom is like, "You ever been fingered by a fighter?" And I was like, "Tom, who the fuck?"
I thought that was fake.
to Nina, right?
Dude,
Wasn't it?
Tom's like, "You ever been fingered by a fighter?" And Nina was like caught off guard. She was like, "Did you just say what
And
I
you know
thought
her
you said?"
husband films, or her boyfriend. He's the cameraman for her. So,
I'm not saying he's a cuck,
Mm.
but what I am saying is,
but that was
He's a
the most wild one ever.
I don't kink shame. You know, to each their own.
Yeah, the way Tom was just like, she
I just, dude,
she
I
kinda
would
cocks her
never-
head. She's like,
I never thought about like asking a woman like, ever had a fighter's fingers in you, dude. Nina was like, "You, there's no way you just asked me that." Tom was like stone faced, like.
oh my gosh.
That video is like the clip of that is like given to like everyone in corporate America during like that sexual harassment week training. Like, here's an example of shit you can't say to your coworkers. Hey Debbie,
Hey, Debbie, you ever,
You get fingered on the mat?
yeah. You ever get fingered at work?
Unless you're in real estate. That's a different story.
what?
I don't know anything about that. I'm a married man.
Zach's not committed to the sale. Pat's over there like, we need to sell this home. Gotta take one for the team and take two to her.
Really need you to get this loan with me.
That's a really tough fight to sell right now. Yuri versus Pereira 3.
That is. It's like we all kind of know. We all know.
I forgot about that.
Yuri's like, they're
'cause-
like, Yuri, who do you want to fight next? And Yuri's like, well, tomorrow I'm going to stare into the mirror and fight my demons.
I fight nobody but myself.
God bless the cancer survivor, man.
Yeah, that's why he cut off his ponytail for her.
No, Pereira's going against who's
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev, yeah.
That's going to be a good fight.
Another
excited
Dagestan
for
guy.
that.
Everyone's talking about the wrestling, but Ankalaev's got some pretty good striking.
That's crazy. He literally said, I will not take one takedown so I can do the title fight. He said that because they were like pulling the classic, your style's not, winning you.
Fuck that. Take him down.
But it's crazy that he literally before the
Marshawn
fight
Lynch.
said
Lynch, and who is the
before
other
the fight he said I will not
Jackie
shoot
too.
one takedown. I'm going to stand with him. The
little
whole
blurry
time.
screen right now.
He went out and dominated.
Ortega.
Dude, Brian Ortega might have like the most game of any UFC fighter. Like every single one of his girlfriends have been dimes.
Who?
Brian Ortega.
T City.
Didn't he date Rachel Ostovich?
No.
Fucking Michael Chandler. Hell yeah.
You got to see him at the
Who's
top.
Rachel Ostovich?
Google it and you're welcome.
Yeah, she fights.
He just said, yeah. I said, who is it?
Kenzie Dern, though.
He dated.
She fought last weekend.
Oh.
She won that
Rachel.
rematch, right?
No, he dated Tracy
Beautiful armbar.
Cortez.
Yeah.
Who?
Let's hope
Tracy
this-
Cortez.
That's who I'm thinking of.
And they look very similar now.
Yeah, they do. What's up
This
with the
guy
fucking-
gets chicks.
Oh, he gets some chicks. Did you see him with
putting the
that
triangle?
chick, France?
He goes, you're putting the triangle, pull the arm across. She goes, ooh.
Yeah. You do that again. What's that chick's name? She's always at all the. She's at like all the fights.
I don't know who that is.
It's like, I don't know. I've seen her on Instagram before. Why is the quality like cutting out here?
China.
There it goes.
We banned their TikTok. They're banning our
Yeah,
internet.
they're banning our Wi-Fi.
Did you see Khabib behind him? Did you see the video of Khabib getting kicked off Frontier Airlines? And
Wow.
everyone's like,
Wait, what?
everyone's
What
like,
the fuck?
I can't believe they kick him
Well,
off the
first,
airplane.
like, why is he flying
That's what I
Frontier?
said. I was like, bro, you got all the fucking money. Why are you flying Frontier?
The dude's still like he apparently just like drives like a normal like Toyota car.
The problem is I will say he's always hooded up and kind of has that like pale dark face. And so if you had we know too much about him to put that back, but he is always just like hooded up like because he's so famous. He's always just hooded up in public, but they're probably like, this dude's had a hood on since he's been in the lobby.
Potential terrorist threat.
And there's 12 of them.
well, yeah, the
The
video.
entire fight team's on there. They're like,
Well, the video is wild because it was like all some
do you think
lady who said how she didn't feel comfortable
Yeah.
or something. Like,
well,
how
the
that
best
make
part
them
is
feel
someone
uncomfortable.
posted, they're like, I'm pretty sure all you have to say is yes to sit in that seat. Because
Yeah,
they look
'cause
at
it
you
was-
and go, say yes, say yes, say yes. And if you say something different, they're like, say yes.
Do you feel comfortable sitting in that seat? I smish this seat.
I will smash this seat.
Yeah.
Because it was all about him sitting in that like exit row, in the plane where there's, like the gap or whatever.
Khabib is maybe the most like entertaining fighter who's not trying to be entertaining, like in his interviews and stuff like that. He's also got one of the coldest lines I've ever heard another fighter say about another fighter. In the lead up to the Conor fight, when they were asking like, "What are you trying to do in this? Like, how are you going to win or whatever?" Khabib goes, "My goal is to change his face. I want change his face. That's what I want." I'm like, fuck.
Terrifying.
God damn.
Terrifying.
You know just enough English to frighten me.
The other cool line he had, it was like Ireland versus Russia, and he's like, Ireland, like 10 million people. Russia, 100 million people. And you're like, oh, God, he's talking about war now.
I'm getting Rocky 4 vibes.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Yeah, that's an
matchup.
interesting
Strickland versus
Triple C.
Drickus the Dickus.
Well, they
Number two.
fought.
This is the
That's
second
number
time.
2.
Yeah.
Oh, China number 1.
Wei Li.
Zhang Wei Li
Yeah,
versus who's she fighting?
When she first won the bout,
Suarez.
she's like,
Wow, that's a great fight.
This is a good card. Well, I don't know the other fights.
Tatiana is legit, but she's had to deal with some shit outside of the cage, and she hasn't gotten to compete for a while. When Ashley Cummins was trying out for Tough and they were doing the fights to get in, I got to watch Tatiana fight for the very first time live before like anybody knew her, and she fucking almost murdered this girl in the cage. And I remember all of us were watching that. This was 6 years ago, and we were all like, that's going to be a world champion one day. If she beats Zhang Wei Li, which she definitely has the skill set for, Tatiana would be, in my opinion, a champion for a while. She is so fucking good. She's so well-rounded. Excellent striking, excellent submissions, excellent wrestling, excellent everywhere. But Zhang Wei Li is also just
What's her name?
animal.
Well, who was the just undisputed women's champion for the longest time? What was her name?
Valentina.
Ronda Rousey?
No,
Valentina?
just recently.
At what weight class, though?
Uh,
Amanda
Amanda
Nunes.
Nunes.
Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
The
she
quote.
is
different weight class.
well,
Yeah.
obviously, but
You talking about like the skill set?
yeah,
Yeah, Tatiana, like skill for skill, much better.
really,
Yeah, Amanda Nunes was just a motherfucker with her
Oh,
hands, dude.
yeah.
Which made that first Juliana Pena fight so weird. Because Amanda looked so bad in that fight.
She did. You look like she didn't look like she wanted to be there.
And then when the rematch happens and Juliana's like feeling her oats and everything, I mean, Nunes put a beating on her for 5 fucking rounds.
I just listened to your last podcast, and
With
that girl
Kelly?
was right with the gal. I forget her name off the top
Kelly?
of my head.
Kelly.
But like
Dangle
women go
up.
through so much more of like hormone changes and like
Dude, talk about
Right-
testosterone
right day,
and fucking
right
your system
time.
up.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. Is you guys, I saw one of your guys' shorts, and it was talking about men being the protector and all that. I'm like, fuck, if I'm dating like Mackenzie Dern or Amanda Nunes or one of these UFC
I'm
fighters,
pulling guard.
yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah.
protecting shit. They got their own.
Not
You
just
know?
that. Try telling them you're tired. Mackenzie Dern walks in. No, we're fucking. Pat's like,
we're fucking.
Nick comes in. Pat's banging. I don't care who you are. Sometimes you're not feeling it. But Mackenzie Dern is.
I got energy. Hold on, let me go take a shot real quick.
Let me go stick a needle in my ass.
All right, testosterone levels on point.
That's the thing. There's like whenever I see these lesbian couples that are like you. So there's a lesbian couple. It's Raquel Pennington, and Tisha Torres.
Yes.
They're both UFC fighters, and they're both like. Tisha's definitely like the more feminine one, but she's like built, dude. She's
Yeah,
like jacked.
shredded.
And then Raquel's definitely the more masculine one, but she's like a little bit more like I don't want to sound bad when I say this, but like pudgy. And this is where my fucking head is at, and how much of a degen I am. I'm thinking to myself like, that's gotta be like who. I don't know if I should say it. Dude, could you imagine like what is that? Like, they probably fight for who has to go down on the other. Like, no, I'm not the dominant one or the recessive one or whatever.
I'm not the bottom.
Yeah,
You're the bottom.
You're the bottom.
Fight for it. All right.
You guys think Amanda's going to come back to fight Kayla?
No.
No?
No.
Kayla's terrifying.
Honestly, no, she's not.
Really?
Nope.
I mean, just physically. I mean,
I think she has a very hard weight cut, and I think all those muscles weigh her down.
Really?
Yeah, her last fight did not look good.
Yeah, but if she was able to fight,
If she was able to fight at 45,
When do you think O'Malley's coming back? That's
he's
one of my-
at this fight. Dana already said
Yeah,
he's
it's
got the
basically
winner.
he's got the winner of this fight.
can I be honest with you boys? Neither of these guys are a good fight for Sean.
no.
But-
Sean
brother.
is a striker.
Yeah, but what I'm trying
But
to say,
they're both able.
O'Malley's got a new hit, brother.
a new
He's,
hit.
he's got a new hip.
He's got a
Oh,
new
hip.
hit. He's
HIP.
knocking him out in one.
Yeah, no.
I gave him some tips when I was down there.
Oh,
and
Jesus
he's,
fucking Christ.
he's ready.
Listen, I'm not saying that O'Malley's not a great fighter. He's a great
him.
fighter.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is styles make fights. And unfortunately for reality, the most dominant form of fighting is the Umar or the Merab or the Islam.
I mean, Umar already fought him and just fucking dominated him.
Yeah.
O'Malley is not a grappler.
Well, it's not even that.
He's not a ground guy.
The fear of the takedown will stifle your offense on striking. So O'Malley against another striker can really open up. Like his fights against Piotr Jan, his fights against Cheeto, like you got to see him like really open up because he wasn't necessarily worried about the technical grappling aspect. O'Malley's great jiu-jitsu. Like he's subbed some people, he's got great jiu-jitsu. But the problem is when Merab takes you down, he's not looking to play like the guard game or anything. He's looking to sit there, body head, try to pass guard. If he doesn't, okay, he'll stay there all day, and that's exhausting. I don't care what anybody says. It's exhausting getting hit for 25 fucking minutes. And then you do get up, and then all that push-pull, then you're trying to be like quick like O'Malley is. It's just not going to do it. Then you're constantly worried about getting taken down. So you never want to do anything that really opens up your hips. So you're stifled now in your striking. Now you don't have that one-hitter quitter because you can't commit to it. It's just styles. This is the most dominant style of fighting. Some boxing, wrestling, not even jiu-jitsu, but like the hips to do ground and pound. Because that's how Khabib won all his belts.
Yeah.
And all his championships. Like, he wasn't looking for submissions. He would take you down, pass your guard, mount you or take your back, and smash you until you gave up the arm, gave up the choke, gave up whatever.
Yeah, he took it when it was available.
Yeah, the way he did Justin Gaethje, and he said, I switched from the armbar to the triangle because I didn't want to break his arm in front of his family, and I knew he wouldn't tap.
Yeah, but to be fair, Gaethje doesn't train jiu-jitsu or wrestling, really. It's a known fact. They say it. They don't do jiu-jitsu. They say it all the time. They don't do jiu-jitsu out there.
Well, maybe
he's like, I'm here to fucking
No,
slug
I'm
it
not
out.
necessarily saying like the skill set against Gaethje. I'm talking about more the mentality, right? How like in the middle of a title fight, he's thinking about the crowd and how his parents are in. Dude, if I'm in the fight, I'm breaking your arm.
Yeah.
That shows you the skill levels, right? Like Khabib
when he's bashing Michael Johnson and he's like, just give up. Just give
you
up.
have to quit, brother. You know I deserve this.
This is my fight.
Meanwhile, Michael's like, yo, please stop.
But I'm also not going to quit.
I don't know what's worse, you talking to me or beating my ass.
Yeah, so Merab is definitely losing this one.
Yeah, I'm going Umar
No.
on this one.
And then, sorry, but O'Malley in one against Umar.
Huh?
There's no way.
Sorry, bro. Sorry
There's
to crush
no
your
way.
dreams. The rainbow hair is too good.
If Umar wins tonight, Umar's going to be the champion for a while.
Man.
This stadium is cool.
Where are they?
I don't know where
know?
this is, but that is just neat, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks really cool. That Jumbotron is absurd. The way it like wraps around the whole thing. Like
in
that.
LA, so is that SoFi?
Hey, can you hand me that letter?
Oh, he has the papyaka on his head. Very good.
What's that called?
It's into a dome, Inglewood.
Into
Holy
it, though.
fuck.
Inglewood, always up to no good.
Habibi, baby.
Habibi.
You see Hezbollah headbutt Pereira? They're having a face-off, and Hezbollah just goes wham!
I don't
like
know
hard.
how Hezbollah is like popular. What's he popular for? Just being small and talking
Yeah,
shit?
Are you
what's his
kidding me?
thing?
He looks adorable. You just want to
50 years
Squish
old
his
and looking
cheeks.
like a baby.
Is he adorable though? Is he adorable?
I'd
though?
squeeze his cheeks.
Jesus Christ.
It's like when Mike Tyson thought he was a kid and picked him up and was like kissing him. And they're like, yo, this dude's 30.
That's a 40-year-old man.
40-year-old
Tyson's
no one wanted to
tripping
like tell
shrooms.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you're
Tyson's
scared of
just
Mike
tripping
Tyson.
shrooms.
Yeah.
Tyson's like, what? So?
Yeah.
Pick him up either way.
Yeah.
I kiss any man.
I don't care. I'll pick him up.
Talk about a sad fight. Sheesh.
Yeah.
That was.
That was hard to watch.
I'll give it to him in the first round. He came out throwing some punches, but
He's so.
Ooh.
Tyson.
Tyson, the Tyson Jake Paul.
So
It's the same.
I hate that happened.
So that ring girl that got famous from that, her dad's a member here.
Oh, really?
She's from St. Louis.
And he's like, isn't he like the Cardinals?
He's a Cardinal. Like he's the guy at the Cardinals game that you see on TV.
Nice.
Yeah.
Small world.
We just
His
had,
daughter
I just had drinks
is
with him
very
up here
beautiful.
the other night. Yeah, it's a cool dude.
She's beautiful.
She's very good looking.
Nick, what would you do in order to pick up a woman like that? Like, what's some of the game that you would... A girl want to see a triangle?
Yeah.
I got a gal. I'm not going to get in trouble.
I just, you're younger than me, Nick.
And she looks like that.
Nick's like, why would I downgrade? Wise answer, young man.
Never know who's listening.
She
I
could
think we
be,
probably
bro,
have like 3
I
people
know.
listening to the stream, so I haven't even checked that thing. But in the
But
past,
yeah, I could handle 2. If that's what you're asking.
good to know, Nick.
Umar's fucking pissed at the corner.
I don't think there's ever been a bantamweight more dodged than Umar.
More
That's what they say,
Dodged.
but
Oh yeah.
failed drug tests.
No, why do they pour the water on
injuries,
them out like that?
pullouts.
Umar had failed drug tests?
Yeah, I mean they say it was rubbish, but maybe it was Usman,
I think it was Usman.
the Bellator one.
Yeah, he was the one who got the failed drug test. But I got to be honest with you. It's... All right. Let's see Marab.
This is gonna be a great fight. The energy wise.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this one.
I just don't see how Marab beats Umar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's not a finisher. He's a.
No, it's not even about that. So, like, I'm talking about, like, Umar's just better everywhere. So it's not about the finishing or whatever. It's like, Marab can't just take Umar down the way he's taking everybody else down and, like, kind of, like, swarmed him. Even if he does get the takedown on Umar, I'm very confident Umar can get up. And because he himself has a very grapple-heavy game, I don't think the grappling will exhaust him the same way it's exhausted O'Malley or other guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And because Marab doesn't necessarily go for a lot of submissions or a lot of finishes, to your point, Umar doesn't necessarily have to get super stressed if he ever is on bottom. However, if the roles are reversed and Marab is on bottom, he has to be constantly worried about the ground and pound, the positional awareness, the submissions. Umar has so many more ways to finish this fight than Marab, in my opinion.
Yeah, you really don't ever. I'm trying to think of a time I've seen Marab be on bottom. I feel like
When he
anytime.
got knocked out.
Well,
Because his first couple of fights in the UFC actually went really bad. He almost got cut.
yeah.
Yeah. He lost like his first 2 fights.
Then he grew his hair out.
So is this? So they both? I guess it's just this part of the world that they rock this. What's the thing?
Papiaka.
Pipiaka.
Papiaka. I think it's like some sheep herder thing. It's like the Warriors wear it.
Why? I guess the Russian one is like really white, and theirs is like.
I don't know.
Or is it
I
just a
got to be
separate-
honest.
There's
with you.
different colored sheep and different
Ah.
different
Yeah,
sides
man,
of the
come on. You know, not
different
all
sides
sheep
of the
look alike.
mountain.
Yeah, different sides of the mountain.
Mountain.
The mountain people. The mountain people.
You know what they grow a whole lot of in Dagestan and the Caucasus Mountains? Hashish.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good to know.
I will say this. Both guys are in phenomenal shape, which does
Yeah.
not shock me.
Yeah, neither of them look bad with. Their
I know
shirt
some
off.
guys that have trained with Marab, and all of them have told me that Marab is an animal in
Yeah,
the gym.
I have as well.
And, like, all the time. Like, he's never off.
He says he just shows up to every class available, like even the non-pro.
Yeah.
Like he just shows up to class. And
Could you imagine you're at, like, starter
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu?
just starter
Marab's like,
jiu-jitsu.
hey, brother, yeah. Like,
Fuck,
dog,
me.
listen, my ACLs can't take this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
I'm-
looking for a white belt.
I'm just a
Relax.
hobbyist. I just got off work.
It's a hell of a corner.
Evan and all them are.
Bless you,
at,
sir.
Yeah. Well, Evans.
What
is
what
who
gym
I'm-
is this?
who I-
Wow, Matt Serra's not back there. It's Ray Longo. I don't know who the guy with the tattoos are, but that's interesting. Matt Serra's not in the
He's
squad.
got Algermain.
The guy in tattoos is Wood. He's the not strategic. It's S. It's where all those guys out in Vegas are. It's where Evan's training.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Syndicate.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
Fuck. Couldn't think of it.
I want to say it's
Interesting.
yeah.
So Rob's doing a whole lot of training out in Vegas.
They're all in Vegas now.
Oh, Pat.
So is Aljo.
Damn, brother.
Blowtorch his fucking hand.
They've been in Vegas for at least like 3 or 4 years.
We're gonna go from the side.
How'd you guys like Evan, man? Isn't
I
he just
love
like
Evan.
cream of the
Yeah.
crop?
Oh, he's the best. I mean, I knew Evan from back in,
Finney's days.
Finney's, and I've
One of the
trained
most
with him a couple
positive people I think you could ever meet.
You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person that has anything bad to say about Evan Elder.
times. Me either. Yeah, he's the
which
nicest
tells
person
you a
of all
lot,
time.
right? Like,
Yeah. I
He's
really
such a
hope he
good
gets a
dude.
fight soon.
I know.
He's got a 3-fight guarantee. Is that what it was?
I don't
Who?
know. He's 1 and 2.
Evan?
Yeah.
No, there's no guarantees in the UFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That's why I really hope he gets a
You
fight.
could be in a
'cause
win
it's-
streak and they cut you.
it's
Look
ma-
at that 125er that just mouthed off a little too much to some of the staff. And
Yeah, he was
yeah.
undefeated.
I forget what his name was.
Mohammed Mo.
Yeah, whatever his name was. But yeah, he got cut and he hasn't lost in the UFC. So it's like, at the end of the day, the boss is the boss, right?
I mean, after that last fight where he won and fucking called out.
Look at O'Malley and he's
Trump.
out there with the fucking sunglasses. You know what's crazy? How stacked 135 is.
Dude, it is.
Umar, Marab,
Sanhagen.
O'Malley, Sanhagen, Piotr Jan. That's just the top 5, right? Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Technically, Dominic Cruz, Henry Cejudo.
Cejudo's got a fight coming up too, doesn't he?
Cejudo's not going to be the same at 135.
Him and Cruz on the same card.
Are they fighting each other? No.
No, Cruz has
Font, I think. Does he have Rob
That
Font?
sounds right.
I could be wrong. Forgive me.
That does sound right.
Don't at me.
And then Henry has someone too.
Henry's got
Yuri.
who?
No way Umar's 5'8". I don't believe that for a second.
No.
5'6". Relax.
Yeah. He's looking eye to eye with me and you.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is funny when that.
Oh,
little-
isn't he?
you?
Yeah, 5'8". 5'8". He's 5'8".
Yeah.
I do love.
Yeah, he's 6'6".
I do love when they go from the little guys and then like say the next fight's heavyweight and they're like leaning on the top of the cage.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, these guys are a lot bigger.
Yeah.
The craziest one would be when Francis was in there, because like Francis would like hang on the cage. I'm
Yeah, he'd be able to like put his
fuck.
armpits on the
Or
cage.
Volkov. Volkov's this
Yeah.
Russian heavyweight.
John-
Yeah,
Like-
what's he doing now, Francis?
PFL.
PFL, nothing.
He
Dude,
had,
he
had a
made
fight.
$10 million
He had a
off
fight.
of the Fury fight, and then he made another $10 million off the Joshua fight. He made more in those 2 fights, and that's just like the fight purse, not like the sponsorships and all that other shit. I'm telling you what, right? He's doing right now, chilling. And then he beat the guy at PFL, beat his ass. The big scary motherfucker.
That dude was huge.
Francis was like, "Hold my beer," and then
Yeah.
beat his ass. Got another meal.
But that's the
He made
problem.
more.
Is
He
there's
made more in
nothing
his last
now.
3 fights in the last 2 years, and he has like his
Yeah.
the entirety of his career. So if I'm Francis, and by the way, he's like 42, 43 now. Like he's getting up there in age. If I'm Francis, I'm thinking about what the sunset looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they closed Bellator.
Could you imagine if you're the crowd and like you're underneath all that fog and like throughout the whole night you're just getting like hit with this shit? All right, predictions.
Woo!
Nick,
Umar
Umar.
by decision.
Umar.
Umar,
Umar by
Decision?
submission.
I was going to say
submission?
Umar. Yeah, submission.
Marab by flying dick hit. First round. If I call it, I'm a god.
He just jumps. Starfishes cross the face right at flying.
Honestly,
That's
I
awesome.
think Umar by KO or TKO.
I thought Islam's custom shorts look terrible, but Marab's are pretty
Honestly, Umar's shorts are ugly.
Yeah,
And that means
they
he'll
look way
lose.
too big.
I
for
take
him.
back my prediction.
No, all those Dagestani guys wear the long shorts.
Who goes for the first takedown, you think?
cool. Yeah. He's
Merab,
got the
hands
he's
down.
got the
You think
flat
Merab hands
cast
down?
I would-
Dude, look how much bigger Umar is than him. Maybe he is 5'8".
this first round.
Maybe he is 5'8".
Because what's Merab, 5'6"?
Yeah, he's got to be. If Umar's 5'8",
I was gonna start yelling at
all
him
these
soon.
people are like, relax, Erion. Like, stop focusing on the height.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys is what I say.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
You try being 5'7.5"
Yeah.
on a hot day.
Yeah. Hot day.
I remember when
Pat laughs and
Yeah.
tall at me.
Yeah, as he stands over us.
Ha ha, you funny little man.
If you'll notice in the podcast, my chair, you don't know this, but my chair
Yours
is
is
all the way up and Pat's is all the way down.
That's how the sausage is made.
I wasn't gonna spill the secrets, but
I just let everybody know. All 4 people watching the show right now.
Pat says, live your truth, king.
Live your truth, King.
Interesting first round, right? First minute and a half of like a real fill-out period of finding range for both
is
fighters.
this 300 pixel?
Yeah, why the fuck is the...
is it streaming?
This is
or
reminding me of like
so
2004
many people are
YouTube.
Yeah,
streaming.
we're
that
watching
it's-
Tyson
or
and
is it the
19.
It's
Wi-Fi?
great that we paid $80 for this.
Yeah, Dana White, get your shit together.
It's definitely
I don't know if it's Dana
Wi-Fi.
White.
Or it could be our Wi-Fi. Who knows?
I'm sitting with 5 bars, full bars in here. Might be so many people that are streaming that are slowing it down a little bit.
Oh, nice shot by Merab.
Hey, improved striking, huh?
Hey,
Let's see.
there it is.
Damn.
Oh,
Dude, Umar's kicks are just
Well,
like they
Umar
come out of nowhere,
has
man.
Umar
Yeah,
has more
so quick.
weapons. Umar
they
has
come out.
more weapons.
And this pixelation just still doesn't come back.
I feel like I'm watching like a porno, like on 2002.
Yeah.
I'm at a channel I'm not supposed to be at.
All right.
It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm
Back in the day, I'm like, Channel 98 smacking the TV.
Yeah.
Come
All
on,
right,
let's
so
go.
Rob goes for the first takedown. Stuffed. Interesting.
landed a couple shots on the exit there.
It's interesting to see Merab going.
That was
not
that was
Merab,
before
but
you guys
Umar
were
going
born,
for
by
more
the
of
way.
body
Channel
work.
98. You guys don't know about that.
No, we
Yeah.
don't. I know about
You're sitting there tweaking with the antennas on the
late
TV.
late night Cinemax and Showtime. That's what I remember.
I was able to type in tits on Google.
Tits.
Nick is like,
All right, so this is how old I am compared to you guys. So Channel 98, so pre-cable.
Umar with the takedown attempt.
yeah. Let's see if he can get it
On the
taken.
pipe.
No,
Oh.
oh.
Almost got the dick explosion technique. All right, both fighters go for takedowns. Both get stuffed.
So back to Channel 98.
You young kids, when you want to
Yeah.
fap, you can just do it. We had to
Yeah.
work for it back in my day.
Back in my
Back
day.
in my day,
You had to earn the fap
you got Channel 98 pre-cable. Oh, that's a good 1-2 combo.
on the
right there.
family television in the living room.
Yeah, you're sitting there fucking with the antennas, tapping the TV just to see the
to see a
static,
nipple.
just to see a little tit pop through.
Just to see a nipple.
Goes for the
Just to
takedown
see
and
a
immediate
boob.
underhooks.
You don't know how easy you got it.
This is definitely going to be a much more interesting fight than I originally
This is
thought.
high pace for round 1 too.
Mm-hmm.
Umar's done 1 5-rounder.
He's got some kicks, doesn't he? No
Yeah.
telegraph on his kicks whatsoever. Just throws them up.
So what's the average 35er walk around at?
Dude.
And I know it's a huge swing, but just kind
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what'd you walk around at?
I would walk around off camp.
195. We heard you.
Yeah, I mean, no. That was, oh, he clipped him. Umar clipped him.
20 seconds. Come on, Rob. Hands up. Hands up.
Sugar wants that rematch.
Merab.
God, dude,
Well,
why
Sugar's
is it-
watching this and realizing, like, hey, I can get Umar to stand up.
No, I think this is like a strategic thing because I
Yeah,
don't think he can
first
take him
round.
down.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he could take him down. Like
You guys think I should back out of this and try to go back in, see if that'll fix the.
I mean, if you want to do it now.
Do it now. This is the time.
Tell me more, Pat, about how when you were young you would try to fap and you would have to.
So, back in my day,
I know Nick's 28, but like, why do I think he's so much younger? Oh,
that was
night
the
and day
move.
difference.
Fuck.
I
Why didn't we do
can't
that
count the
earlier?
pixels anymore.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much better.
Here's the thing: who wins that round? I think Umar, just because of that.
Yeah. 10-9 Umar, I think.
Yeah. A lot of times.
I think he landed a little bit more damaging
Agreed.
of punches.
Agreed.
So far, he's right. Striking's going to be the thing.
Yeah.
We'll see
When
what
you
happens.
get two high-level grapplers and
Look.
neither could take the other one down, or even if they, here's the other thing, even if they do take one another down, then you have to hold somebody down, and that's so hard to do with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like you were saying before,
Who fixed the antenna?
Marab
What?
he's down and up.
We fed the hamster that's powering the wheel for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I fed the hamster.
You gave one of your beef sticks. I hope you're okay with that.
Actually, do you mind if I do?
No,
we
I
have
brought
any of those?
like
Yeah.
I brought like.
Can you
10
throw
of
me
them.
one? I
Okay.
need
I'll take one too.
beef.
I think I've taken this thing about as down as it'll go.
What is this? Think jerky, beef stick. 0 grams of sugar. What the fuck? Ooh, beautiful. Wow.
Ooh.
You see what I'm talking about in the difference in like
Yeah, the difference in
weapons?
striking for sure. Oh my, yeah, like how
And he's
Umar
in
just
flow
throws.
state.
just
Marab
whips
looks
kicks.
charged the whole time.
Wow, this is really good. Ooh, Marab got hit hard.
I think Marab likes this though.
Marab would do well to turn this into a brawl. Because if he keeps it technical, he's going to get pieced. But he needs to stop dropping his head. Beautiful level changes. These guys are such high-level wrestlers, man.
Marab's like chewing on a piece of gum. Boogers.
Yo, real
Who was
talk.
the guy who used to fight with a toothpick in?
Think beef sticks. These are good.
There used to be a guy that would like fight with like a toothpick in his mouth.
Benson
Yes.
Henderson.
That's who it was.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude. Like
You're not
imagine,
choking on the
The
cock.
guy's like looking at him. He's like,
or
"Do you
just
have a
imagine
toothpick?"
getting like punched in the punch and like that thing getting like poked through your cheek.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
What a scramble.
Oh, that was sick.
That's 2, right? I count that as 2.
So the good thing right here is Aljo is his main training partner, who's a backpack aficionado. I mean, that's all Aljo does is go for the back.
Not a bad place to be.
And Marab, look at that smile.
Still doesn't have that bottom hook in.
This is the kind of fight that I thought it was going to be, like much more grueling, much more exhausting.
Yeah.
Let's see if Umar can keep up with this pace.
Dude, the way he whips those kicks up. just
Yeah, zero
effortlessly.
telegraph.
Yeah.
His kicks are really good, which is interesting
And he
considering.
does them off the front leg too.
Which is interesting considering no one else in his camp can do those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Taekwondo style. It's just like,
Yeah, it's like just right off that front leg.
don't mess with the Zohan was probably his favorite.
He doesn't
movie.
even like do like the switch thing. He like
Oh,
Wow,
he just
that teep
shoots
right
out
up
there.
the middle, man.
And it was a front leg teep too. Which I mean, traditionally you throw a teep with your back leg. right?
Beautiful knee by Umar. It's gonna make Marab think a little bit twice about coming in with his head down to throw the overhand because he could eat that knee right on his nose. Man, Marab's throwing hard.
this is
with
a
those.
scrap.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron. Wouldn't you typically throw a teep with your rear leg? Isn't that what most people do?
It depends. If someone's coming forward like Marab, all you need to do is throw it up because then his forward motion becomes the power you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
You're right that the rear leg would be more powerful, but if he's coming forward like that, all I need to do is flick my foot up. He'll run into it.
Run into it. Yeah.
I mean, the best part is
Dude, Marab is putting a pace on Umar.
that's the best part is Marab is game as all get out. Like he's not worried about Umar. He's not flinching. He's just like, we're just gonna keep going. Just keep going.
That being said, Umar is still winning this round too.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Merab can stop. He's like the Energizer Bunny, man. You got to put him away to like get him to stop.
Yeah.
Fatigue is just not going to be a factor with him, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's 2 rounds in. He looks as fresh as when he first came out there, which I think he'll still look this way in round 5 if it gets that far.
The problem is he's lunging on a lot of these, and it just opens up for counters, uppercuts, and knees up the middle. That teep that he threw, oh, beautiful kick with the toe. Beautiful shot by Merab. Dude, this is a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
This is a
2
fantastic
of the best
fight.
right here.
You know what's crazy too? Going into this, I thought maybe this would be one of the more of the
He's breathing heavy.
snoozers, but this is like very entertaining.
All right. The Erion and Nick show.
So Nick, tell me about your first gay experience. What was it that got you into jiu-jitsu? Some guy touched the inside of your ear.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey boy."
It was Brandon, purple belt, just no rash guard, just smothered tapping
Oh,
me.
Jesus. You're like, "Please, sir. I'm a minor."
Nobody's taught me about escapes.
He's just sweating in your mouth.
That's all he would do.
That was a beautiful takedown. I can't express how hard it is to take Merab down, so it's a testament to Umar's wrestling. Also, a testament to Merab's, how easily he got up. They're just really high-level grapplers, both of them.
Yeah.
Umar will switch stances to throw that lead leg as his power right. So to answer your question, Zach, maybe the reason he threw it from the front was because that's actually his dominant side.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing that he's changing stances in order to throw that same kick from the same leg. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh.
No, underhook. He'll get back to his feet. Yep.
Wow, man. This
Beautiful
is a hell of a
jab.
fight.
Dude, if you're O'Malley right now, you're thinking to yourself, God,
Yeah, like, fuck, God damn it.
fuck.
God damn it.
By the way,
it's only
Chris
gonna
Lieben,
take
by the way,
one.
Chris Lieben is one of the judges for tonight's fights, and it's the first time that a former UFC fighter is now a judge.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Lieben's judging this fight.
That's so surprising. Like, how has that not happened before?
Credentials, timing, all these other things.
Government.
The unions, all the bullshit, bureaucracy. Typical retardation of California.
Yeah, it's just.
I thought we weren't using our
At this
words.
point, UFC's been around for, what, 30 years?
Ooh, nice little check by Merab. See that knee? You see how he's throwing that knee right up the middle?
Yeah.
Look at that
Their
chicken wing.
scrambling
God,
is
dude,
insane.
these guys are such good grapplers. Also, their ability to go from striking to grappling to striking again is just like amazing. They headbutted each other on the sprawl.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That sprawl was like,
Umar,
he just popped
Umar
right
hit
back
the
up.
back of Merab's head with his face. That was the most damage Merab's done to Umar so far. Look at this. Look at,
Beef taco bowl.
see that? He sprawled onto his face.
Rob's got to get at least one punch in that gains some.
No,
mad
he's been getting a
respect.
bunch of punches in.
No,
The
I mean
problem
like
is,
respect. Like something.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
he needs to get
tagging
something-
Umar.
Yeah.
Something to really, kind of put an exclamation point on it,
I'm just really excited to see if these guys can keep this pace up in the rounds 4 and 5. When I think Umar's getting tired.
Is that the first time Umar's shooting?
No. They've been
he's
kind
shot
of shooting
before.
throughout. But I feel like Umar's fading. I could be wrong, but I feel like
Oh,
Umar's
wow.
fading.
But look at that. Marab, he don't even want it. He's just like, got you.
No,
Got
he
you.
didn't have anything with it. Dude,
Marab has
Marab,
not
I
slowed
think
down.
Marab's starting to kind of pull ahead in terms of fatigue,
Energy.
efficiency,
Yeah.
these kinds of things. Yes.
There it was.
Fuck,
Right
dude.
off the butterfly.
He's like, why is this guy smiling
He's
at
so,
me still?
so quick to get out of that. Fuck.
Umar's going to sit here for a minute and breathe a little bit.
Marab's a fucking character, man.
He's a savage.
Dana's like,
He's looking at Joe, Anik, and DC and saying, "I got these motherfucker."
right where I want him.
Dude.
But do you see his right leg, all that scarring?
He doesn't feel any of that.
No, I know.
Oh,
but
you mean
that's
from his previous
that.
injuries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
So they just lance it or they cut something out?
I don't know. It depends,
Depends on what it is,
Yeah,
right?
if it's like
Yeah.
a flesh-eating virus, obviously you got to cut that out. If it's just an injury, you're going to go inside the skin to suture the laceration between the
Yeah.
tissue so that it heals properly. No, this is more exhausting. Wow, he grabbed the shit out of that cage.
Yeah. Rob's like, not just like, I can multitask right now.
Listen, Marab is playing great to like the crowd and doing all this stupid shit, but he's losing this fight.
Yeah, he is.
That's 3 rounds to none.
Yeah, 3-0.
Now Marab needs a finish.
But that's look, Umar's eyes down, like,
Yeah, but here's the thing. If Umar needs to now, he can pull guard. He can give up rounds because he's up 3-0, right?
pull guard.
He could.
No, I get it, but that'd be
Yeah,
wild.
that would
Why?
be wild. wouldn't
If you're exhausted and like you're on your feet and this guy's hammering at you, yeah, pull guard. Cover up. Overhooks or underhooks. Doesn't matter. Just don't get hit. Run out the clock.
I don't think Habib's ever said pull guard before.
I believe he would say that's against their religion.
Pull
You
guard.
know?
He about scoots at him.
Dude, Umar looks like he hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
He's been 3 rounds in there with the champ. He looks the same in terms of like damage.
To
that
be
we can
fair,
see.
O'Malley was looking pretty nice after that fight.
Yeah.
Rob is not a
I'm just saying,
yeah.
objectively speaking.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Sugar and 1 against Umar.
Dude, is that arena not full or is it just me? It's not.
Like all those lights are.
It's not full.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's
California's
fires.
also on fire right now.
I know.
so-
I'm just saying.
So are these fighters.
I'm just saying. Well, it's not like they're, watching from home. Too soon?
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't move this to Vegas.
Zach, that's an excellent time for you to be like, by the way, if you're looking for a
By
home.
the way, if you're looking to buy a house, or if you're looking for a referral in California, let me connect you with somebody.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Wow, Aaron thinks that was a 10-9 Marab. Not even close.
Tim Dillon posted like I don't know if it's fake or real, but he's like, real estate agent should be burned. And it was a real estate agent highlighting a house, and it was like, only one standing
great
in the
jab.
neighborhood. Great view of the Palisades.
Yeah, great view of the Palisades.
I loved his little bit about fake business. That shit was hilarious.
Dude, Tim Dillon he's so great.
He goes, I like calling people about their real estate and just doing fake business. Wow, that was beautiful.
Dude, the way he like runs the pipe, he just dumps them.
Yeah, but the way Umar just gets up.
Yeah, fucking Marab.
I think Marab by charisma.
just by charisma.
I
just
like
just based on heart.
Oh,
He's definitely got the crowd.
know.
The story of this fight will be the highest level grappling I think I've ever seen in any UFC fight.
For sure. But what was that last fight with Aljo and that last guy he just fought?
Oh, at 45.
That was a sick grappling match.
That was.
Oh, nice head kick by Umar.
God, I can't remember it.
Oh, beautiful body shot by Merab.
Just swinging
Dude,
back.
Umar is exhausted.
Yeah.
Umar is
Yeah, you
exhausted.
can tell he's definitely tired. Marab's
Beautiful
Still
body
coming
shots
at
by Merab.
Question mark.
The problem is how you scored. Oh, dude, the tides are shifting. Umar needs something now because Merab's coming forward. Merab's caught the pace.
Hands down.
You noticed that, Nick? Wow, what a fighter!
Well, clearly Merab's carrying the boats right now. What a
Well, like you said earlier, Umar is winning 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's taking a round off.
Yeah.
With these judges?
For sure, the first 2 rounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
For sure, the first 2 rounds. 3 could possibly be up in the air, but I think Umar all 3 rounds so far. This round is actually, in my opinion,
This is Merab.
God, the way he sprawls.
Yeah.
Unofficial strikes. Oh shit, Merab 85 out of 220. Umar 62 out of 173.
Nick.
Umar
yeah, Merab's definitely the more volume guy. Umar's fading. Umar's
2 for
He
12
just
on
does
takedowns.
not look
Merab's
as
4
fast
for
and
15.
as responsive as he did in round 1. Meanwhile, I feel like Merab is actually starting to pick it up, which is even crazier. Look at this. The body shots are adding up, dude. Umar is exhausted. Umar needs to survive right now. But that's the problem. Grappling with Merab might actually get you more exhausted.
The machine.
He is.
He's like
he
Bert-
is.
Bert
He's
Kreischer.
cut up, bleeding, cut below the eye, nose busted, and Umar right now is on the defensive. Look at him. He's
that
on his
sloppy
knees.
takedown.
I mean, but damage is also something that's looked at.
Dude, Umar can't keep his hands up in these exchanges.
Technique still icy though.
Round takes him down.
Wow. If I'm Umar,
Oh,
I'm
he's
breathing.
putting him in the old.
Yeah,
No,
look
if
at
I'm
Khabib
Umar, I'm
yelling at
breathing
him right
here.
behind
If
him.
I'm Umar, I'm breathing here. Great head positioning, posturing underneath the chin so that he can elongate his body. Now look for Merab to start looking just for like nothing too crazy, but some strikes. But oh, dude, Umar's so
Umar
good
right
too,
up,
man.
Right up to his feet. Trying to
Rob
break the
Davalishvili
hands.
ties George St. Pierre for most takedowns, I guess. He's grabbing that cage.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely grabbing the cage. Look at
Hey.
that.
All right,
You ain't
Merab
cheating, you ain't
won.
trying. All right, Merab wins round 4.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
that was Merab's round.
Dude, this
This
stadium
could-
here's
is
my
this
thing.
could
probably
be 2-2,
electric.
man.
Here's my thing. I think Umar had 1 through 3, so it doesn't matter.
Well, judging, you never know.
You never know. You're right. I got it 3-1 right now,
Khabib's like, you want
but I don't know.
you want to
dude.
be on Frontier on the way home or private?
bold of you to say private. You want Frontier or American?
Yeah, he spat.
Yeah. I mean, shit, like right now.
Dude, this pace of a fight is
Yeah.
insane.
Do you do 4 rounds?
The
of
fact that
this?
Merab is over there like dancing and shit is insane to me.
Yeah. Like right now, I would.
Well, you can definitely tell.
only
They said that-
focused
they
on-
said that Merab-
he's used to the 5-round fights.
Yeah, they
I
said
mean, how
that
many
Merab-
He
shit?
pulled his pants up.
They
He's
said that
been in
Merab
5-round
didn't sit
fights for how
down
long?
and was just looking at him.
Rob looks like he just woke up.
That's crazy.
And Merab just look at him. He just doesn't even look tired.
I still think Merab's going to need a knockout to win this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He needs a finish. submission, a TKO.
I will say though, say the next round goes like that last one, I would not mind seeing an immediate rematch if Umar wins. Just because of how exciting. Nobody really.
This was a really good fight. Tough sell though, because I think they
Yeah.
want Sean
They
to be
want
the
finishes.
champion again,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
and they don't want Merab to be the champion, which I think is kind of crazy. Because then if you put on fights like this,
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Marab's grown a lot.
I mean, especially if he's getting the crowd into it, like he's gotten them into it tonight.
Well, Merab is he's definitely become a fan favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a personality on social media, and
I think he's having fun with it. I think he's
Yeah.
authentic.
he's fun.
You know what I mean?
Whereas Umar, he doesn't have any
No.
online presence or
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because it is a global
jobbers
market.
to
It's
fight.
a global market.
They
I'm
like
telling you right now.
Umar because they're gonna be like
The-
Umar, Islam, Habib.
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
The
You're right.
Nurmagomedov name as well.
Yeah.
Remember Russia, 100 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember Putin.
We're gonna end. We're gonna end World War III.
We're not going to put
with
it
U-
out. We're
with
going
the
to
UFC
Putin.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the combinations that Umar was throwing. Now it's all single punches, single
Yeah,
kicks, right?
Right.
Labored. He's exhausted, but God bless, man. He's still in this thing, right? Beautiful too.
For sure.
This is the thing I don't understand why Merab's doing. Why are you going for the takedowns when clearly the guy's having trouble keeping his hands up?
Yeah. I think just so he
Beautiful
can say
split with his legs, though. You see how he's
he's taking down Nurmagomedov.
Step through.
Yeah, but
3 minutes.
why waste the effort and time?
Yeah.
The goal could possibly be to exhaust him even more, maybe with like 1 minute left, but that's like a stretch, right?
Merab-
Then
Merab's
that's
not
like-
the
Call
guy-
him into the center of the ring.
And then hit him with the old cup shot.
Well, Merab's not the kind of guy who's going to go for a finish. I mean, Merab's just going to wear you out. He needs
Merab's
to
been on
finish
the
here,
same
though.
strategy the whole fight. Move forward, mix in takedowns.
He's winning this round too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's too late.
No, he's about to knock him out cold with his cup.
Beautiful sprawl.
And technically, guys, I read off the stats. Merab is up by significant strikes, by quite a
Yeah, but
gap.
each round is judged individually, not the cumulative. Remember, the judges have to submit their scorecards in between the rounds, so it's like,
But you also got to look at the damage done too.
well, yeah, it's Umar, but
That's
that's
the
what I'm
number one
saying. 1 through
criteria.
3, right? Oh, beautiful kicks. It's kind of crazy that we're not really getting that sense of urgency from Merab. Does he think he's winning this fight?
I think this is just how he fights. He just kind of, he never crazy striking, just kind of sprawl and brawl.
Dude, Khabib's losing his fucking mind in Umar's corner. You see him
Yeah,
right
look
now?
at him. Yeah, he's just screaming.
1 minute 20.
Wow.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
beautiful
big left
combinations from Umar.
Khabib.
Look at him. He's going crazy over there.
Khabib's about to throw his papiaka.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd have killed this guy by now.
Why you no smish?
I don't know, smish him. Umar's Khabib's cousin, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Less than a minute. This round was a little closer, but I still got Merab, but Umar's
Still
finishing
pretty- still
strong.
pretty-
Oh! Umar's hurt! Merab caught him with an overhand. This is exactly what Merab needs.
What are you
Merab,
doing?
Merab, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I think he's already got this thing fucking won.
He thinks he does, but he's
What are you doing?
They just need to turn the camera on Umar. Or on Khabib right now.
What are you doing?
dump him. Matt returned.
Dude, he's just Merab.
Merab now has the record for most takedowns in UFC history with 91. He
No,
thinks he won the fight. He thinks he won the fight.
Oh, then he hits him.
Sneaks one in after the bell.
He thinks he won the
He
fight.
thinks he won it.
Nick, grab me one of those, will you? Sure.
I don't
care.
I don't think he did.
No.
Well, time will tell.
Yeah.
He definitely won the last two.
I got 3 Umar, 1 through 3. I got 4 and 5 Merab.
But even if he loses, he's gonna be like, I took Nurmagomedov down 5 times. I smiled the whole time.
They're pulling him down off the cage.
Well, ever since the eagle went flying, they just hate that shit. That was a sick fight.
That was a hell of a fight. We'll see. What do you guys think, Umar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, sure. Finished strong, but
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to Umar for sure. Man, this was a fucking great fight, wasn't it? Well, here we go. Let's see.
You think Buffer knows, I guess, already?
I mean, yeah, he just looked at it.
I'd be sick to be in that.
You know before anybody else.
Yeah, and you just have to be like,
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
49-46 has to be Umar.
It has to be.
what?
No way.
Whoa.
I'll take it.
No way.
Islam shook.
Whoa.
Hanato Moicano stepping up to the plate.
I'm surprised.
No, whoever judged at 49-46 is insane. I'm sorry.
I will
probably
say
the UFC
but
guy.
hey, I'll say Merab's a better fight for O'Malley.
Oh, for sure.
Can we turn this up? I just want to hear what they're saying.
Yeah, let's
Forgive
do
me. Sorry. I just want to hear this.
Dana hates. It's electric.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, now the fight has to be O'Malley, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be even bigger now because Merab's got a true following.
Thank you, everybody.
Wow.
Wow. Most wins. He's what, 5th on the.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? 5 rounds with Umar, and he's just like,
You know, I train all the time.
so he did have an infection.
Wow.
You got that Wolverine gene
Yeah.
injected into him.
The old
Honey badger semen.
BPC 157. Didn't really help out my old torn meniscus, but, you know, it must help him.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Who scored it 49-46?
Yeah.
To
UFC guy.
Merab. I don't know. I just can't believe that.
Yeah.
He could have been looking at strikes.
I got to suck for that team right now because now they got to scramble back to get ready for Islam, and Islam just watched his boy lose, right?
Fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Money Moicano just got a big boost of confidence.
He don't give a
For
fuck.
sure. He doesn't give a fuck.
Rob is a different
Yeah,
beast.
I watched like 3 of Moicano's past fights today. I mean, dude, his grappling he's a hell of a grappler. Look at Rogan's just like smiling. Look at the look on Rogan's face right now. Merab is him.
Robinson.
That is kind of like something to point out that when Umar was like growing up and training specifically for MMA, Merab didn't even do martial arts. He was working construction.
Wow.
All the construction workers around the world are going to be like, that's going to be me one day.
Well, I mean, look at that. Like construction. What was like Connor? What was he doing? He was
Plumbing.
Yeah.
Trade.
Or something, right?
Fucking Francis Ngannou was shoveling sand. Fucking hell.
What a job.
Fuck.
working across his way across the desert, getting
That's
out
the
of.
craziest story ever.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to the Rogan episode where Francis tells this whole story,
It's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, USA, USA.
Where dreams come true.
Somewhere Donnie T is like, good. We won't kick him out. I thought Umar won. Maybe
I
I'm
did too.
crazy,
Yeah.
man.
No, I thought so too.
I don't think it's a robbery, but 49-46 is insane. Dude, he's still exhausted.
Yeah, he like
Merab just gave this speech where he's shouting. Meanwhile, Umar like can't catch his breath.
He doesn't want to cry on national television.
Oh, he broke his hand.
There was rumors he had broken a hand before the fight.
really. I don't think I lose this fight.
I mean, he kind of looks like Sean O'Malley with that hat on.
I wonder if they're going to bring Sean in the cage right now to face off with Merab.
Well, you can definitely tell Merab's been in more 5-round fights.
For sure.
Just, I mean,
Oh, he said he broke it in the first round.
what'd you say?
He just said he broke it in the first round.
Oh, fuck.
This is the difference of pay-per-view sellers and non.
Right.
You can't help but like both guys, dude.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Merab is just sitting there waiting for his time.
O'Malley needs to jump the cage.
That's the
now.
thing, right?
Yeah,
If you're every other bantamweight and you're watching that fight, what are you thinking to yourself? What am I gonna do? Get this guy tired? Like you got to catch him. You got to sleep him.
You have to. You have to put him out. That's the only way to beat.
So Chris
Merab.
Lieben said 48-47, and that's the way he did it. So the first two. Okay, so the two judges that did it 48-47 agreed with me with 1 and 2, and then it was that number 3 that I thought Umar won, but 2 of the judges thought that
Merab won.
Merab won. The other judge, 49-46, the fuck were you watching first?
He
two
was
rounds?
watching
drunk.
Rob smile.
He
He's
was
like,
drunk.
this guy, he happy. Means he winning.
He's drunk. He had some of this Hugh Hammer.
Oh, Mel
Oh,
Gibson.
Mel Gibson. And Nate Bargatze. Dude, he's funny as fuck. Yeah. Oh,
Dude,
man.
Charles Oliveira might have like the best smile in the UFC.
He looks like
Dude,
a
what the fuck?
tweak.
Dude, the fact that he's got Cheeto Vero right behind him is awkward as fuck. Who is this guy behind Islam? Just chilling.
That's
But
his dad.
I think that does mess with Islam, though. Like, I gotta.
No, not if he thinks Umar.
Those
won.
guys
First of
are all
it's-
like brothers, you know? You haven't seen the picture of them in the bathtub together?
Or when they're in the sauna together, bro, it's very homoerotic. They are brothers. They smish. Hey, do you mind just... Sorry. Thank you, sir. No, I was going to forget about it.
Like whoever uses cigar that's a bunch of jerky.
Put in the humidor. It's gonna make them taste so much better.
Now I gotta fucking add that to the list of shit that I gotta get done tomorrow.
What is that?
I got 3 podcasts tomorrow. You're gonna be number 3.
3?
Yeah. Gotta do them back to back to back because Monday through Friday is just like I just can't do it with wrestling. I look forward to it though. I hope it doesn't sound like
Do you always record on Sundays?
right now because of wrestling season. Saturdays are hard because we have tournaments on Saturdays, and then Monday through Friday is hard because like we have training or we have like the matches afterwards.
When do you typically record when outside of wrestling season?
Oh, whatever days work with the guests. Like there's no specific day, but like right now because of wrestling, I have to like Saturdays are basically no go.
Gotcha.
Today was different because like this Saturday was the only Saturday we don't have a tournament until state by the end of February.
Oh, really?
So,
Where do you coach at?
Afton High School.
Okay. How's your
And-
team?
What?
How's your team?
I'll tell you what. This year, when I first came in there 2.5 years ago, I came in 2 years ago, like halfway through the season. They just needed a lot of direction and discipline, and we've changed that program.
That's awesome.
That program. We got some studs this year. We got some guys that we had one guy qualify for state my first year. We had 5 people qualify for state last year. This year, we're going to have, I think, at least 7 or 8 qualify for state, but I want a medalist. That's what I want. I want one person to get a medal.
That's awesome.
I think we're going to have that. Whether it's like 6th place, 5th place, I don't care. I want one person to get a medal. Because right now, I think I am the last. So I medaled when I was in Afton, and I was graduated 2011. I think I was like, no one's medaled since me. So I want to change that. You know what I mean? It's been too long. It's a decade plus. We gotta get some guys some hard
Which
work.
is strange. Were you one of the few Albanians that went to Afton? Because I went to Oakville. We had a lot of Albanians. We had
Oh, really?
a lot of Bosnians. Yeah.
Bosnians. We had a lot of Bosnians.
My ex-wife was Bosnian.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
We had some Albanians there. I would say like probably like 6.
Yeah.
If that gives you like a reference. Like
We-
there was
we
probably
had-
like
we had
600
more-
Bosnians.
We had more Albanians than we did Bosnians.
Really? In
Most
Oakville?
most of Bosnians went to Oakville or went to Melville.
Oh yeah, Melville, Afton, Bayless. That's kind of
Bayless,
like the
yeah.
area. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, dude. When I was in high school too, I didn't really take like so. I am Albanian, but we came over here when I was so young. I always looked at myself as like
How old were you
American.
when you came?
Oh, 4 years old.
Okay.
We left Albania when I was like 1. We lived in Greece for a couple of years to get our papers and our documents to come over here legally. Came over here legally. Moved to Florida first, lived there for a year, and then we moved to Missouri, and I've lived in Missouri ever since I was like 5.5
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about tomorrow too.
Yeah.
About the proper way of coming.
Dude, I'm gonna get a lot of people angry.
That's all right.
I really don't care.
I'm surprised because it's like my ex voted a certain way for a very long time. And her and I had a lot of debates about certain things, and I always brought up, I'm like, how does it not piss you off, like, people coming over here illegally?
Empathy.
You know? Yeah.
It's
pretty much.
misplaced sympathy more
Yeah,
than anything.
absolutely.
My
But
wife voted for Biden. I
she
voted for Trump last election,
Yeah.
2020. This election, we both voted for Trump. And the thing is,
Is your wife Albanian as well?
yeah. But the thing is,
That's another thing we can talk about too. Is Bosnian versus marrying American being with a Bosnian woman.
I have decided.
What?
It doesn't work out. Is that what?
Oh no, just
I'm coming in halfway through this conversation.
Oh no, we were just talking about like
yeah, all sorts of stuff.
some topics for tomorrow. But
Yeah,
when my wife voted for Biden, I voted for Trump. Like I remember she would say some things like, "Well, why would you vote for Trump?" and all these other things. She was much more liberal.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she voted Democrat like the last couple elections. You know what I mean?
Same.
And I've always been very good at separating the politics from the people because I just don't care. Like I realize you're going to vote a certain way because whatever. Like for me, the number one thing is economics. economics.
Absolutely.
Because everything else stems from that. I don't care about what bathroom you're using if I can't afford to put food on the table, right? So economics first. But over the course of time, she would start asking me questions like, why did this happen? I can't believe this happened. Why is this going on? And I'll tell her. I'd be like, well, you would have voted for this person who appointed this person in this position who then passed or worked with Congress to pass this piece of legislation, and that's now why you're paying more on this. Or because of inflation, because we printed so much money, because of so-and-so's policies, now your property taxes are higher and yada, yada, yada. It's like everything is correlated to the decisions you've made, right? It's not like happenstance. These things don't just occur, right? I'll give you a prime example. The tax policy that Trump's floating around right now is bringing back a lot of the Trump tax benefits from his presidency, like the one-child tax, not the one-child, but the child tax credit, $6,000 per child. I'd like $6,000 back in my pocket. Thank you very much. Like, that's my money, right? And you want to incentivize people to have kids for various reasons that we could talk about tomorrow. But more importantly, it was just like, you started seeing liberals after 4 years of the worst inflation we've ever seen in our lifetime, the erosion of the value of their spending ability. Now this guy comes in who might, not be your favorite cup of tea, but what does he start with? Giving you more of your money back. Not a bad way to start an administration.
No, I'm not.
Well, because that's the thing that people don't realize is like inflation is like the goal of the Fed is to get inflation to 2%.
I would make the argument that that's not the Fed's goal.
No, the Fed's goal, like that's their standard is 2% inflation.
That's not their goal. What is the Federal Reserve's true goal?
Monetary policy. But they use monetary policy like to get inflation down.
I don't think that's their goal.
But no, have you listened to any of the speech, like all of that, like everything they talk about is inflation. I mean, this is like the biggest thing for my business because as inflation drops, interest rates drop.
Duly noted, but what if I were to tell you that the interest rates on the Federal Reserve are like the one of 50 knobs we can turn at any moment, and the only real thing they can do is either raise or decrease interest rates, yes, but what they're really doing that for is not necessarily the rates on things, it's more to adjust the unemployment rate. Because as you increase rates, you will subsequently increase unemployment. So when I tell you, say monetary policy, the Federal Reserve's real mission, goal, state, whatever, is to adjust the labor market.
I can't wait to get into this with you tomorrow.
Adjust the labor market.
We're going to have a great conversation about that tomorrow.
Yeah. So,
I'm not disagreeing with you. There's two aspects to it, but like the unemployment rate is one thing. Inflation is another aspect of it, but ultimately
they're directly correlated. Though
they are, but ultimately they're trying to bring the inflation. Like what I was trying to get to is like people are like, oh, inflation's coming down, but that doesn't mean prices are coming down.
No, they're just
the Fed
they're going up slower.
Right, exactly. So the prices that we're already paying,
they're in forever.
They're there, unless we have deflation, which we don't want. That means we're in a recession or depression, and everything else is going to deflate with it.
You'll never have an instance of deflation in America because you're the petroleum dollar.
Right.
But I understand the macroeconomic statement that you're making essentially is like, we need to get a cap on this. I just think that there are much better ways to cap or to limit inflation than relying on the Federal Reserve.
It's not even. I'm not even trying to say we put a cap.
I know. We're not.
I'm just saying that people think that this is going to happen and things are going to get cheaper. That's not the case.
When you say things are going to happen, like what? Oh, lowering the interest rates
by lowering the Fed fund rate, inflation coming down. From what the conversations that I've had, because it involves my business a lot.
Yeah, it's a trickle down.
Yeah,
sure.
that people think that. Well, here's the thing too. Another aspect of it, the Fed has cut the Fed fund rate by 1%. Mortgage rates have gone up by 0.75%.
Well, it's because it's the market too.
Right. There's so many different factors that play into it that people don't realize. But ultimately, a lot of the conversations like, oh yeah, we're going to see
It's a
prices.
crazy screen.
Prices on eggs are going to come down. No, the prices on eggs, they're there now. That's
Honestly,
where they're going
noticed
to
that
be.
for the first time.
They're just not going to go up by as much as they were.
I agree until you start getting into the productivity of humanity. That conversation that we were having, there's two ways to reduce the cost of things. Two ways.
Yeah, supply and demand.
You either A, have less demand, which means that there's just like less people wanting to buy eggs.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to get rid of eggs, and they're going to do it at a reduced price, right? Or B, you make it cheaper to make eggs.
Right.
So, but it's not going to be monetary policy or like an administration. It'll
No.
be a technological advancement. It'll be the people.
Right. But going back to your point, putting more dollars in your pocket because of taxes is going to help with that.
I was having this conversation with someone we'll end the
Yes, and we'll pick this up tomorrow.
But one of the things that I'm really liking about this next administration is not necessarily their mentality on tariffs exclusively, but their mentality on tariffs supplementing the income the federal government
Agreed.
gets instead of its own people, which I can't explain to you how hard my dick gets when I start hearing things like, if you want to start making use of the consumption capabilities of America, you're going to have to pay for it. Because you know what everyone's going to do? They will. And if everyone's sitting there is like, oh, well, Erion, but if we tariff people at 20%, the price of everything will go up. Yeah, but I get a third of my check taken away. And even then, at the end of the year, I still owe like $15,000 to $20,000 federally.
Right.
If I told you what I paid in federal income tax this year, and you're telling me that I'll take that money back, I will take eggs at 3x what they cost right now.
Yeah.
I'll take gas at $8 a gallon. I really would if I get that money back in my pocket.
Right.
Because I'm still living a better quality of life.
Yep, I agreed with you. I can't wait. I can't wait to have this conversation in more detail tomorrow.
It's just such an insane mentality to me that these people look at this they look at tax season as like, oh, I can't wait for my tax return. It's like, oh, did you give the government too much of your money? The fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
The fact that our tax code is even complex to begin with is like another thing we could talk about because it's all by design.
Dude, it's so
all by
confusing.
design.
So
I mean,
confusing.
what are they talking about now?
I am so.
And the last thing I read was like an external revenue service instead of looking at the internal revenue service, but an external revenue service.
Or how about a budgeting committee to get Congress in line? You can't spend more money than we bring in.
No.
Figure it out.
I like the whole concept. I think it was Warren Buffett that was sitting there talking about how you want to get GDP down. You make it based on what the fucking people in office make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that idea.
I also like the fucking term limits.
Yes.
I don't like term limits, but we can go into it.
Yeah.
Because if someone's good at their job, I want them to do it till they die. But
But
if someone's bad at their job, I want them to get voted out. I'm not for term limits. I'm for the American populace to start waking up.
Yeah, but are they waking up? Like, are they really? Like,
Well, then they get what they deserve. If you eat shit sandwiches for your entire life and you never ask for anything else on the menu, who's wrong for serving you a shit sandwich? The restaurant or you?
true.
I don't want to. I don't
You
want
put it
to.
like that. God damn it.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't want to put term limits on congressmen that are really good at their job, that understand both, economic structure, foreign policy, and all these other things. I want them to be in.
Yeah.
Right, but there's a way to
Would
keep.
you force a CEO who's doing a great job to sit down after 8 years? No. Why? Because they're doing a great job. I think the same thing with Congress. The only difference is
Hey
when they're-
guys, we
Sorry.
got a fight started.
Yeah. Hey, podcast tomorrow.
We got the main event about to start.
Did Islam come out to
Dude.
techno?
Yeah, it sounded like it. And dude, he's looking fucking shredded.
I wanted to talk about that
Shredded.
so bad.
Dude, he
Shredded.
cuts a lot
I
of weight
mean,
to make 55. Did
Yeah,
you see him at the
he's
weigh-in?
he's like 190.
Well, here's the other
Oh yeah,
thing.
he looked like death.
He weighed in
looks
154 and a half,
Herb
which I thought was
Dean.
crazy.
Who,
Dude.
Islam?
Yeah.
Islam looked like death on that scale.
Yeah, but he cut an extra half a pound.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like kind of crazy. Like
Question: what kind of money do you think these refs make?
the
The
refs.
refs,
Like
I think
Herb
pretty good
Dean?
money.
If Herb clears 6 figures in a year, I'm surprised.
What?
Really? You think?
No.
They get paid by the state, not the promotion.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but he's reffing at 1.
Now here's the thing.
You don't think they don't? You don't think
I
they get a?
heard something.
Forgive
You
me,
don't think
forgive me.
you don't think they get a portion of the
6
purse?
figures per game.
No.
At least, or
Here's the
not
thing.
Per game, per fight.
Referees like Herb, Mergliata, the guys that the UFC will fly out and stuff, I'm sure
Goddard.
they get paid more. But what I'm saying is, like, when the UFC comes to St. Louis, okay, the State Athletic
Right.
Commission that handles Shamrock FC, that handles NFA, that's the same commission that handles the UFC. So these guys don't get paid more if it's the UFC or if it's Shamrock or whatever.
Really?
They get paid a flat fee. Yeah.
No
Google
shit.
estimates Herb's at 500,000.
Maybe her.
Herb.
Yeah, there's 3 of those people.
Yeah. So
But
like
he's only,
her,
dude, I would think he'd be making more than
Mergliata,
500,000. To be honest with you.
Beltron, these guys probably get paid a little bit more. But like, I'll give you a prime example. When the UFC
Dude,
St.
he
Louis
gets
card was here,
bonuses.
you had Dwayne Best. You had Dwayne Best.
Great
on
decision.
The
Great
UFC
decision.
card.
The winner bonuses him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stoppage. Great stoppage.
Oh, it's like Clubhouse.
There's
man.
got to be a serious conflict of interest, though, if the UFC, if the promotion is handing out bonuses to the State Athletic Commission employees.
Well, but that's the thing, though. So, like, I look at it as like clubhouse managers in baseball. Those clubbies, we tip those motherfuckers good.
Really?
Oh yeah, you'd always have like 1, maybe 2 that you like went to for shit, and you tip them.
So who is a
But-
clubby for someone who doesn't know it? Like,
I
just
saw a
people,
I saw a
people who,
clubhouse.
like tend to the
right.
clubhouse.
So yeah, so you have your clubhouse manager. Those are the guys that are in charge of making sure you have like your laundry's done, your spikes are cleaned, your uniform, like
Oh, they
everything
clean
is.
all your shit.
Oh yeah, the laundry, they do all your laundry, like, and you're paying for this, like you're paying for the materials and all that. Like once you get to Double A, it was $11 a day that you paid for clubhouse dues, but like in Double
All
A,
the shit was taken care of.
Yeah,
What?
$11.
All
a
the
day?
shit was taken care
but
of.
everything was taken. But you've got 25 guys paying $11 a day,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, you're tipping those guys after the fact.
Ah.
Yeah, so like,
So they're doing all right.
yeah,
All right.
well, and then like the big leagues.
How many
is
guys is it?
25.
No,
Plus-
how many? There's one guy.
There's one clubhouse manager, and then I'll have like 2 assistants.
All right,
So-
gentlemen, who we got? Nick.
Islam.
Moicano.
Moicano.
You got Moicano?
Because he don't give a
I
fuck.
think the last fight, look, Islam shook. His little baby boy just got beat.
No,
up.
I don't know about that. I'm just
family.
saying.
His little
He
baby
ain't
boy.
paying I'm just saying. Because
I think the
competition,
tide
he
has changed.
He ain't
No.
paying attention to shit.
They have shared a hot
No,
tub.
dude.
Nah, I don't get
They
it.
have shared a hot tub, and they
That
don't
was
wanna-
neat.
Nick's such a turd.
This dude, he just took this fight on 1 day's notice.
But he was getting he was on this fight card, so he was like prepared.
And
Right, but
he's
not for
money
fucking
Moicano.
Islam.
Yeah, dude. You know what we haven't talked about?
Hey,
What the fuck
everyone
happened
is
to
dangerous
Beneil?
in the first minute of the first round.
He
Poor
got dropped.
Beneil.
He got paid and dropped.
I know, but that's just poor guy.
Yeah, but that's a good check to.
Good chat.
Just to not fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's true. He literally got paid to weigh in.
I mean, Moicano
Hey, if
was
you're
ranked
Beneil
number 10.
Dariush, cool. I get my show.
Moicano ranked number
I
10.
don't have to get punched in the face.
Tough
Ooh.
matchup.
Yeah.
Beneil Dariush just got paid, and they're probably like, "We apologize. We'll give you a great fight next time." So
Yeah.
he might get a better rank,
Who knows?
and he
You're
got paid.
You're right.
Or he fights an unranked opponent, loses, and we never see Beneil again.
What do we got going on here? Watch your fingers.
Poke him out. Take him out. Take the
Islam
eyes.
said, "Don't poke eye.
Don't poke my eye.
I have to smash
He
blind.
loses by a
Don't
If I smash blind, I don't know which hole."
Which hole?
I don't know which hole. Dude.
You ever hear the fucking like back and forth between Mighty Mouse and Nurmagomedov and Islam? It's hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious. I
It's
watched
fucking
that.
hilarious. They're talking about PUBG and they're like,
Yeah. So funny. I watched that YouTube.
that's what I'm saying. Like they're hilarious and they're not even trying.
Right.
What an interesting first round. You could tell these guys are both nervous because
Yeah.
they weren't preparing for each of the other.
Dude, now that you mention it, how close his hairline is to his eyebrows.
Dog,
fucking
I'm
wild.
telling you, right? 2 fingers from his eyebrows.
Yeah, it is, dude. It is. Like, if you look at Moicano's and you look at his, like, the space between his eyebrows and his hairline, it is...
What
like,
I do like is
lots of real
Moicano
estate.
looks big.
What?
Moicano
He
also
does.
looks
He
big.
does.
I mean,
Dude, I mean,
Makhachev's last.
I think Moicano's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
he is. He's a very good black belt.
and he's.
Oh,
Did
come
he
on,
rock him or
baby.
did he trip?
Moicano
Dude,
touched
his-
him up with some hooks.
That
his
happened
last
fast.
4 fights, they just put it up there. His last 4 fights were like 450% more. What was it? Something about control time. Fuck, I missed the.
Right now, Habibi is screaming for the takedown.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Habibi.
Habibi is
Take
like,
him down, brother.
my brother in Christ. Oh, I
There
called
it is. You did. You did.
Now smish.
No, smash him. Smash him. He's got the good cross face and the underhook.
I wanted to see Arman Tsarukyan's secret move.
Oh, he has a secret move?
He said he's
probably how he
going to
blew
do
his
a
back
move
out.
that no one's ever seen before.
Oh, really?
Huh.
The old dick twist.
The old dick
He comes
twist.
out with. Everyone's like, what?
He said, I want to bring headbutts back.
I think that, like, right
Are they
now,
booing? They're booing?
Islam would not care. He would just be like, boom, boom, boom.
You know, for how progressive California is as a state, I thought they would be like much more accommodating for 2 men rolling around.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were gonna get booze. Very interesting that Islam isn't really working to try to better the position, and Moicano definitely feels like he's comfortable here, right?
Yeah.
Well, he probably really respects Islam's submission. game.
Yeah.
I
he's
do
got some
like
pressure
half
for
guard
sure.
more for MMA strictly because that near side underhook you can use for leverage and a shrimp, but not when the cage is behind you. I hate guard for MMA because it's so easy for someone to body head. Ooh, right to the guillotine.
Oh, shit.
It's in.
That's
It's
in.
over.
Fuck.
Wow. Islam, dog. Wow. He's
Most
just so
decorated
fun.
lightweight champion of all time.
But that wasn't even a fucking challenge for him.
No, it
I
wasn't.
mean, dude, not a lot of people are going to be.
Brother, welcome to Islam Makhachev.
dude, he's
He makes
he's a
everybody
nightmare.
just look bad. Dude, it really
Someone-
goes to show how good Dustin Poirier got for that fight.
5 rounds.
Yeah, 5
Like,
rounds,
literally
cut
2
him
minutes
bad.
left. 2
I
minutes left before the. Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't even think that was Dustin's best striking fights. Sometimes Dustin looks sharp.
The lights just turned off out there.
I know. I mean, I hit the lights when I came in. So
Okay,
That's all right. They'll go back on when we go out there.
it's all motion sensor.
That sucks for Brandon.
Great tats, though.
He does have good tattoos.
That was so quick.
You gotta
I
be.
want to see the one where he hit him. Oh, top of the head? Did he hit him with that hook? No. Habibi, take it down.
Take him down.
A smish. Change face.
Change his face. I want to change his face.
This is the most effective form of fighting is a grapple heavy. Damn.
I mean, dude, that's short arm Dars too.
Yeah, it is. It's not even.
Well,
all
you
the way
can
locked.
see that he's just, fresh
got it
first
like- he's
round,
got it like here.
squeezing.
I don't know, it's
Someone
like-
must have beat up his baby boy.
You said that he was shook.
Well, now he's pissed.
Shook in a good way.
What if he calls out Marab? I'm cutting.
his baby boy.
Let's just go.
Here's the thing, right? With Armin hurt, do you give Armin the immediate fight? Do you give it to...
Let's look at number 1 contender.
Yeah, let's pull up the.
Khabib goes from being very disappointed
This is
to
why we
very
need
happy.
Jamie
real
right now.
quick.
Yeah, we
Jamie,
need
pull it
a
up on the
Jamie.
screen,
God
Jamie.
damn it, Murph! If you were here,
Fuck you guys. I'm
Oh,
doing
Yeah, I'm
shoot.
in Florida.
Armin's 1, Charles 2, Gaethje 3, Poirier 4, Holloway 5, Hooker 6, Chandler 7.
fuck.
Dude, there's you have to give it to Armin because he's beat everybody
Armin's
else.
Like the only one. Yeah, he's
Who
beat
did
everybody
Oliveira
else.
just beat? Chandler.
Chandler.
Yeah.
The second
But
time.
he just lost to Armin before that.
I
Who's
bet
that
I bet
little
it's
boy?
Oliveira
Who's
next,
that little boy
honestly.
in the background who's also a 50-year-old man?
Also, could be. Wait,
Could
no,
be
they have
Oliveira
Ramadan
again.
coming up.
I could see him fighting Oliver again.
Marab. It's 1 is Sean, then Umar, then Peter.
Do you think Islam actually worked a sweat on that one?
No.
Well, dude, now he can go off.
This reminds me of Borat.
What are you gonna do after this? I have burger with cheese.
I had burger with cheese. Dude, I love that video with Khabib. I know exactly. Burger
What are you gonna
with
do now?
cheese.
I want burger with cheese. Thank you, Khabib. Yes.
Yes, burger with cheese.
And Coke light ice.
Yeah. And Coke light ice.
Don't hurt us.
Yeah.
If you're watching, please don't hurt
Longest
us.
unbeaten streaks in UFC history. John Jones at 20. God damn.
That's crazy.
Wow.
What is Islam at? I missed that.
15.
15.
Which also is insane, but damn, dude, 20. That sucks. Damn, what is going on with his shoulder? You see that?
Probably broke his
Oh.
collarbone before.
Yeah, the collarbone poking out like that.
Connor somewhere's like, hit him with the clavicle.
Poke him in the eyes.
All right.
Just give him that old shoulder check.
So what did we learn today? We learned that Yuri will perform seppuku if you ask.
Yeah.
We learned that Marab is like a shake weight. Just doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop moving. We learned that Islam
Don't fuck
wanted it, he doesn't fuck around, and he wanted to avenge his baby boy.
He's just a boy.
That's my boy.
We were at the LA fights, and wasn't it the LA fights or was
LFA.
it LFA?
You said
forgot one of the
LA.
letters, brother.
You said like LA. You forgot the middle
LFA.
letter. Yeah.
And this lady was yelling, "It's just a boy." Or he's just a boy.
He's just a boy.
Do you guys go to any of the fights like locally, like
Yeah.
Shamrock or
Yeah,
NFA? or whatever?
Shamrock, I mean, we went to LFA and watched Colin's last MMA fight.
Colin Parr.
Colin Parr.
Yeah.
And
Nemesis is Brad Carey.
yeah.
Yeah, Brad's a real estate agent that my business partner works with.
Oh, really?
Yep.
If you guys want to go to that one, let me know. We can make a night out of it.
Yeah, I would love to go.
Oh yeah.
NFA does a pretty good job over there at the. They used to be at the Armory before they went out of business. Now they're at their factory, and their last show was.
I'd love to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He approached us about he approached the podcast about sponsoring.
Oh, really? Take him up on that offer. Is he like not a competitor to you, right?
Who?
No.
Brad?
No, Brad's my business. Like, he brings business into our team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. Wait, you said he was going to sponsor the podcast, right?
No, he wanted
Oh,
the
he
pod.
wanted the podcast to sponsor. Oh, my B.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, if he's going to offer you money,
Yeah.
take
No.
it.
No, other way around.
I'm just waiting for like Magnum condoms to hit me up. Or like Anal Beads R Us.
Anal beads.
You know, a product that I use. Something I can.
Something I'm a big fan of, you know?
My stamp of approval.
Well, you did tell me that you wanted to start using, if you were to use a product or like get a sponsorship, you wanted to actually be able to use the product on camera.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I'll do like some
Anal bead
gunshots
tug of
with
war.
beads. I'll create them with like the faces of each
you're like,
guest.
well, I mean, if I got a whiskey to sponsor me, I'd love to pour a glass. And I feel like that's the best way to show that I like the stuff.
West Fork. Hugh Hammer. Drinking the old hammer right here. Sponsor this shit. Let's go.
Well, fellas, this was fun.
Good time.
Only cost me a flat tire.
Yeah, it only cost me a flat tire.
Send you the bill.
No, you don't want the bill.
Tax write-off.
Dude, I might be able to.
You
I
might
be able
it's-
to.
Yeah, business-wise.
Business.
I was on a business trip
We did talk about the podcast.
once. Business was discussed.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's all you need. One
How
time.
much fuckery do you do during your taxes every year? Because I got to be honest with you. If the IRS were listening, Just saying.
We can see how many people were listening. I bet they're.
I bet one IRS agent's like, got him. Clip it.
We just sat down and talked about this the other day. So I got to get my 1099 out to Murph.
Yeah.
But yeah, I filed mine the other day. I'm on top of that shit.
I got one guy that I'm not going to declare, but the other people I am. Labor expense is a labor expense.
Well, we're spending $10,000 a month or $10,000 a year in labor.
I don't think we talked about the financials a little bit between us to kind of get like the equilibrium of what things should be. I think if there was anything that would surprise people about a podcast, it's the run rate, it's the overhead.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Time is
sure.
one thing, obviously, but
Right.
it's like
Pat, we just added it up the other day. I was like, fuck.
yeah.
It's been
I looked at everything that I'm writing off from these fucking taxes. I'm like, fuck.
just keep in mind one more thing. If you're going to show net losses on a business, you can only do that for 3 out of the next 5 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
That was part of the reason for us coming over here and joining Punchline Productions, because the guy that runs it is former radio, used to marketing and advertising, and drumming up business. So hopefully,
I'm just saying, like it's like something that you can use if you wanted to. Because I remember when I was fighting, I never took a paycheck like as Erion Zekthi. I had Erion Zekthi, or it was Easy Fighting and Entertainment LLC.
Yeah.
And then the check would go to that, and then I would pay myself through that, and then I had every expense in the book. I mean, mileage, everything. I would make my last year pro fighting, I maybe made like $15,000 all in all. And then like people were like, "Oh, well, you have to pay taxes on it." No, I made like an extra $4,000 from returns on that one, from all the expenses. You know what I mean? Training, nutrition, all the shit that I had to put in. And then I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait for this year because I have a lot of hardware expense and everything that I bought. I can't wait to put that shit in there.
I mean, yeah, starting a podcast is not cheap.
No,
It's not.
No,
it's not.
If you want to do it right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story I told Zach off the record, but like if they would have told me from the get-go what it ended up costing me, I would have never done it.
No,
I'm
same.
glad it happened this way because like
Same.
I thought it was going to be a certain number, and then we went 3.5x times
Right.
what the original number
About
was.
us too. I mean,
Yeah,
when you
for
added
sure.
it up, it's when we talked some numbers. Oh, I'm way off.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
Jesus
lot more.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well, you got to spend money to lose money.
Lose money. But it's fun.
But I mean, but like you said before, like the things that you don't count as value
Have come from
networking.
So much has come from
Like
it. So
my
I don't
network
regret it.
is
I would
so
not
much
change
bigger
anything.
now. Like, but like in the business that I've gotten, not because of the podcast, but
From the
not
content?
from the podcast, but because of the podcast, like the connections that I've made. Like, it's not like I'm getting business because of the podcast, but I'm getting business because of the connections I've made from the podcast. Like, it's been huge.
It adds a
But
paradigm of professionalism as
right,
well.
but like it adds to my W-2 job and how that works. So taxes go through that, but everything else is a write-off on the business side.
If after 3 years you're still there, refile another LLC, start the process over again.
You do that.
Z&P Entertainment LLC will be the Zach and Pat Show.
Nick Curran he's gonna be like, baby boy.
It's my baby, just a baby boy.
Nick, you gonna close us out, Nick? What words? Don't you got some puns?
Words of wisdom over there?
Are you just on a podcast, Nick?
We need to get Nick on the podcast.
I'd love to get Nick on the podcast.
I don't want to
That'd be a
influence the
fun
young
one.
minds of America.
Nick, you could most certainly, Nick, you could come on whenever you fucking want.
Yeah.
But I will make the call out that Sugar and One versus Marab.
That's wild. That's wild.
I mean,
I called it. Let it be known.
Here we go.
Written in stone.
I
on
mean,
my
I wanna see
tombstone.
I'll throw money on it. I'll throw money on that.
I don't
You wanna take action?
gamble, but
I think Sugar. I
It
think
is
Sugar beats you the
officially
second time.
January 19th, the day TikTok shut down.
I actually think Marab does him even worse because he's been in there for five rounds with the guy now.
I don't know, man. The Sugar 1-2. That's all I got. It ain't happening any other way, so
He's
I'm
got
gonna
to
believe
knock
in
him
it.
out. That's the only way
I'm
it
gonna
happens.
believe in it.
Can we just talk about DC's teal suit that he's
Yeah,
wearing
like
right
that's
I like it.
pretty.
now? I like it.
Yeah,
It's simple, but it's
Very
clean.
very slimming on him.
looks Miami Miami
Miami
Dolphins.
Vice.
I was gonna say
Miami Vice.
Miami Dolphins esque, it's like the same.
He's
color.
on the wrong coast for that.
They're talking right now about like what anybody in the bantamweight division is going to do against Merab, and Joe is basically saying, how do you bridge the gap of like cardio and athleticism and all these other things? Because they're talking about specifically Sean O'Malley. Because that's the other thing. Sean was also starting to gas in some of the rounds because it was a grappling heavy ordeal. It's the most effective form of fighting. Grapple heavy, get them down, get them tired, beat their ass.
Yeah, you're right.
Rob was on the run in round 5 when O'Malley hit him with that body shot. I think Rob shook.
I could say the same thing about Sean in the 5th round of Cheeto Vera when he hit him with the body shot right at the very end.
Sean was doing the Dougie. He was dancing.
With that rainbow hair.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, fellas.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up. All right, boys. Thank everybody. Thank you to everybody that was listening. And